Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Pino News, man. Listen, I'm back with General, my boy Force Devil, bro. Listen, Force Devil, did you watch the State of the Union?
Oh man, I'm halfway through it right now.
Yo, it's great. Fucking General, I know you watch the State of the Union. Okay, so over under on how many grams of fucking meth that they gave fucking Joe Biden before he started that fucking that speech.
Oh, there's got to be at least 2. I know he's an old man, so it doesn't take much, but I think it does take a lot to make him that energetic.
I have a theory, right? I think they had him like mainlined, like they might have had like a little injector. You know what I'm saying? That would just constantly give him a drop to dose him the whole time.
Oh, like a steady. Actually, I bet they gave him one of those time release capsules. The pharmaceutical industry is big on those. Give him one of those, slow release.
No, 100% it was injected.
I mean, the difference here is with Biden's usual public presentations is he's not responding to insane questions, right? He's just doing his thing here. Like he's going on about manufacturing, all the standard stuff, living standards. He's just doing the mantra. He's been doing this for longer than I've been alive. So yeah, I don't think he even needs that much meth. I'd just say 1 gram. We don't need 2.
He's getting pretty up there, though. I think he might need the 2 for a whole hour. I mean, he was up there for, 75 minutes? That's a long time for him.
He was. Right. Listen, he didn't get lost. He didn't shake hands with a ghost. He didn't fall off the fucking stage. Right? He wasn't, like, mentioning people that don't exist anymore or that have been dead for 30 fucking years and shit. You know what I'm saying?
He never once mentioned the bad dude.
He hasn't mentioned corn pop in a long time.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. Didn't mention hairy legs. I don't think that he mentioned touching or interacting with children at all. I mean, 75 minutes. Biden not saying anything about that. That was a good speech. I gotta say,
not even mentioning Trump the whole time.
Well, he said a lot about his predecessor. Like he was very careful he was very careful to never say Trump because he knows that whenever you say Trump, people go, "Yeah, Trump." So instead he go, "Well, my predecessor did this. My predecessor did that."
Maybe the Democrats woke up and realized, like with Clinton, man, all she ever talked about was Trump, and I guess Biden's not doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in the State of the Union, he could have spent the whole time complaining about Trump, I guess, which is pretty much what I would have expected.
I think the Democrats have learned that Trump is basically Beetlejuice, and the more you say his name, the more powerful he becomes. I think that's basically like they now understand that. Trump is.
You're good, man. Listen, I was just grabbing a link.
I mean, honestly, if people are like, this is Biden's best performance, like, geez, bro, the bar was low. This is nothing more than just a textbook or read and regurgitate president. I mean, you're just saying all the things that people want to hear. It's nothing new. There's no new ideas.
I don't know, man. Like that is a lot to ask of like this dude. Like he's been asked to do this repeatedly over and over again, and that's fallen flat doing this. Right, like every speech he's ever given has been, "Come on, man, I just was right," and they gave him teleprompter, the whole 9, everything he fucking does, and literally he got all the names right and all this type. Like literally, did you see like this lady over here from fucking someplace or Alabama, whatever the fuck it was? It's like she had the ability to have that baby right there. She wanted to be expecting again, but she can't get the IVF treatment because of like the Roe v. Wade, right? Which, by the way, that's fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is Roe v. Wade have anything to do with fucking IVF?
It doesn't. It literally doesn't. It's a talking point that doesn't actually make any sense. But god damn it, they're going to push it anyway.
Because you can link the two because they're both to deal with reproductive health.
It's going to influence suburban white women, and I know that suburban white women are a really important demographic for the Democrats to capture.
Well, hang on, let's check the viewership rates because I feel like they've declined.
Well, they have, but that's because like modern, like all TV fucking viewership rates have declined just altogether. right? Like nobody watches fucking like broadcast TV anymore. You know, like the boomers are dying off, and even they got Roku's now, so they can like, I don't have to watch this shit. I can watch whatever they want. They can just like turn on
Yeah, I
Real
can just
Housewives of Atlanta. You know what I
I
mean?
can watch shorts of Whoopi Goldberg being insane while I'm on the bus.
Mm.
I don't have to sit at home.
Yeah, you don't have to fucking do that. You don't have to sit and watch that shit on TV while it's fucking
Wait.
on. You know what I
What
mean?
am I the only guy on here that doesn't watch The View daily? Come on.
I mean, it's like if it's on, I'll watch it.
No, I don't watch
I'm
it.
at home, right?
What do you mean if it's on? When is it ever going to be on?
No, you know when. I mean, Tom, you're a bit older, but like you know when you take a day off school, man. Back like in Australia, there was some dumbass American TV shit like The View on. Then there was Dr. Phil, and then there was Judge Judy. So that was your lunchtime to afternoon viewing.
I remember Judge
If that
Judy.
is,
That was
if
actually
those
fun.
are my choices, I'm going to fuck outside. Right? Like I'm gonna go do something, anything to fuck. I will literally go slam my head in the fucking toilet with the toilet seat before I'll fucking watch that shit. I will go count the amount of squares on the fucking wall or some shit before
I think Dr. Phil should run for president, to be honest.
I mean, didn't Dr. Phil recently come out with that documentary about how the U.S. government is complicit in child trafficking? Like that was actually pretty based of Dr. Phil of all people to do. Like weird, but kind of based.
Well, Dr. Phil, like you see, even like he went on Joe Rogan twice and shit, and like both times he just brought on like crime stuff and like child predator stuff. Yo, it's fucking weird.
I think he's actually caught up in the. I mean, I've watched his wife progressively get more plastic over the years.
Well, I mean, he's like he has a daytime TV show. Like, of course, it's
telling people not to augment themselves while he affords his wife to do the same.
I mean, like, listen, Dr. Phil, he's a millionaire, right? And like, you know, he had a show on TV for like, you know, 265 years. So his wife probably has the money to try and get plastic surgery like forever. So it's not really that big of a thing. They live in Hollywood, and they're that age.
Although I would never want my significant other, my lady boy, to get breast implants. If someone else wants their wife to get breast implants, or if their wife wants to get breast implants or get Botox or whatever, you know, that's on them. You know, that's cool. Look, as long as we're not doing it to kids, I don't care about any of this shit. Do what you want to do.
I kind of agree. Right,
this is the Biden approach with the State of the Union. It's essentially preserve the lips, preserve the looks, preserve the breasts, preserve the government, preserve the status quo. Like he's essentially the plastic surgery. He's like the scalpel to the government, a very blunt one. But like this is the guy. Like if you want to preserve the current whatever this is, he's the dude.
Well, he's not preserving shit. He's preserving the appearance.
Well, he's decaying.
That's literally what like fucking the entire thing is just appearance.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I mean, General, remember how like you asked me earlier, like, listen, I thought like you're an accelerationist. Why would you vote for Trump? Because Trump is more accelerationist than fucking Biden is. If you vote for Biden, I'll just kick the fucking can down the road forever.
Well, okay.
If you're upset with the status quo.
To explain that position, I most of the time when I've encountered accelerationists, they're usually they're in support of bad people, but I guess that what you're saying is there's a good guy that is also an accelerationist, and I guess I haven't encountered that idea before, that actually the better candidate would also be the accelerationist, because usually accelerationism is you want to get the worst candidate in so that it accelerates the bad shit. You just want to accelerate the end of the system. So I'm not even sure if you could call that accelerationism. I think that would be it's more like
it's not accelerationism if you don't
rebellion,
like it.
Insurgency. But I don't know. I mean, basically, Tom, you're worse than a January 6th there. By saying that.
I know Trump, right, is probably going to bring on Armageddon, right, in the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to get upset and they're going to do something completely fucking ridiculous out of desperation, right? And like I know like they're fucking crazy and they're out of their goddamn minds and shit, right? So therefore, like I know that this is the best way to go. If you elect Biden again, what you're just going to get is 4 more years of a dude wandering around the stage, like talking to nobody, and you know, I mean, not knowing actually who the fuck is really in charge.
Sure. If you want to entertain it, the sort of BLM disruption or the broader disruption brought about by that is that's the test, right? Like let's test the response of the institutions, the legal institutions, the law enforcement to actually deal with this crisis. Well, we know now that they can't.
Mhm.
No, they could. No, our law enforcement and our military institutions could if they were allowed, but they're not being allowed to do so.
Yeah, there you go. Like fundamentally, inaction is what will happen.
Yeah, right. Because like,
I think you could easily get twice the number of people out in the streets that was going on then.
yeah, right. Like if Donald Trump gets elected, the left will 100% lose its fucking shit, right? And the whole thing will fucking collapse, right? And by the way, Donald Trump like bitch when they tried to raise interest.
This is?
Like he got really really fucking mad, or like at fucking the Federal Reserve when they didn't lower fucking interest rates.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, right?
And that's meant to be like a independent apparatus to the government, right?
Yeah, it is, right? Basically,
it's meant to be.
Yeah, should big word.
Well, like it should be, right? And here's the reason is because of the fact that like what ends up happening is like if you give like the people the control of like the ability to print money, they'll just print it forever for like whatever bullshit that they want to do. You know what I mean? So we took that out of their hands and said, no, that's not you can't play with that anymore. That's not bad fucking people, right? And like now it's free.
But Tom, it was really cool what we did though, because we made sure that it was entirely unelected officials that had that power, because that's obviously better, right? The unelected officials are the better men.
Yeah, but it literally should be, right? So like imagine the pressure of the elected official. Right? Imagine the pressure on that if it was an elected official.
Well, okay, I can see issues either way, but isn't it more dangerous to have it be unelected bureaucrats who are kind of sort of part of the government, but are theoretically kind of sort of privatized in a sort of theoretical sort of way? I don't think it
matters if they're elected or not. What matters is whether there's any accountability, which is completely lacking.
Well, there is no accountability, of course.
Well, there is. No, because like they can be replaced by the president or the Congress.
You've been deleted from your job. I'm just going to give you another position on this committee on like.
No, you get deleted from the job. You get deleted from the job.
Well, I mean, Tom,
like Ben Bernanke isn't in the motherfucking like at all anywhere.
When was the last time that the Federal Reserve got audited?
I don't know, like fucking.
No, it's like it doesn't get audited. It's not a thing. It never gets audited. It's an independent entity that is outside of regulation, that can just basically print money however it wants. I'm not an economist, but that's my understanding of the situation. Tom, if you know more, correct.
It doesn't even matter if you are or not. It's like part of it's made up.
Well, not like so. Or here's the thing with the Federal Reserve. What it does is it basically like it buys assets and sells treasury bonds, right?
We don't need any more mechanisms or like financial instruments. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I agree with that. Yeah. Maybe we need less of them, in fact.
I mean,
it's enough.
What it does is it like brings in stability, and it brings stability into the system. That's what the Federal Reserve is meant to do. Like, all right. So basically the system is inherently unstable. Right, it's just unstable. That's in a general thing. Like the whole economy is completely unstable.
But that's
good. Keep letting people create financial instruments.
No, you create things like the Federal Reserve to prevent forest fires. Bouts of instability. But personally speaking,
stop planting trees.
I am pro forest fire. I think that forest fires are healthy. I think that they should occur like every 10 years. You don't want to let them build up.
Okay. All right. That's cool, right? That's a cool idea to have. But on the same level, imagine if like you have, I don't know, say 80% of the population owns 401ks, or if, I don't know, 100% of your population has insurance and they're all tied up in these fucking like financial instruments so that you can be able to pay for things. And then all of a sudden, like the shit collapses and people need to go to the doctor.
Yeah, because essentially this whole thing, we call it superannuation here. So essentially, every paycheck I get, a percentage is paid on top of that by my company, and it goes into my super fund. And that essentially is just an investment fund that gets played with by some dude in a suit and a tie. Essentially, he produces nothing of value. and
he
so on
kind
and
of
so
does,
forth.
right? Like, could you imagine if like he had like, if like all of a sudden like y'all were bought into like NFTs at the height?
That's not how it happens, though.
Yeah, but again, like all your money would disappear.
Well, imagine that. Let's say that Apple stock ended up going the way of an NFT, and it just suddenly cratered. Not that it would, but if it did crater, that would be bad. But I did just want to say, I mean, look, my philosophy on economics is that I view it the same way as an ecosystem. If you let the brush build up and you don't have a forest fire for long enough, then you're just going to get a even bigger forest fire down the line. And I mean, maybe is it better to have a series of small forest fires, or like every 100 years you have a fucking massive conflagration, right? Like that. I don't know which is better, but I don't know. I feel like a
Thing
series
is,
of
dude,
tiny
like,
forest
listen,
fires is nicer.
again, if every like 10 or 15 years you had a depression,
Just a tiny one, not a big, like a tiny
they're
recession.
not tiny, they're big every time.
Yeah, but the longer that we stave it off, the bigger it will get.
No,
Like
it seems to me the issue is the staving. The problem staving it. It's because we're staving it off. It's the boom bust thing, right? It's what we're not doing is utilizing all this excess productive capital we're generating to prevent the thing. But it's profitable. It's profitable to boom and bust. Essentially, to call it boom and bust is unrealistic in a way. What it really is like the market gets way too hyped up. It corrects itself. Like if you look at the thing over time, buy at the bottom. Everyone's buy low, sell high. I mean, that's essentially what they're saying. I'm condensing this.
Yeah, actually, this is something that maybe some
the issue is that when these cycles affect the poorest people, the least well to do the most, and that's where you get like shit where like famines, for instance. Grass and plants don't suddenly stop growing, right? When people stop needing to eat, or people need to eat, grass doesn't just suddenly stop growing. But for some reason, the grass didn't get turned into bread. The wheat didn't get turned into bread.
Right. I mean,
just
all right,
because
so,
of like some made up thing with.
There's a really good stat that was in The Big Short, right? That I really liked, right? And what they said was for every 1% that unemployment goes up, 40,000 people die.
Maybe. I mean, I think that would depend on the state of the economy at the time. But
Sure, what you're saying is unemployment goes up, it essentially confers there's an amount of loss you're going to get based on the unemployment rate. Mm-hmm. Is what you're getting at. Like just
imagine the
potentially,
whole
potentially, but okay, for instance, right? I've been hearing a lot about the gaming industry recently, right? So in the past, like I don't know, a couple months, there's been 2 games that have come out. They're called Pal World and I think Hell Divers. I think is the other. Yeah. Number 2, yeah. And so basically, the gaming industry for the last few months or so has been having a lot of layoffs. A lot of people are becoming unemployed because these big. Well, especially right now. I mean, I guess it's been happening for a while. But
it's like crescendoing, but yeah.
Yeah, but like right now, a lot of these AAA game studios are failing, and part of the reason is because I guess they, they're big AAA studios. They invest like I don't know $1 billion into a fucking game or something, and then obviously in order to get the funding for making these big games. You have to secure funding from other places, but these other places will only give you funding if you do like ESG shit. And that's where this Sweet Baby thing has come from. It's kind of like the tiny Gamergate 2.0. And it's not just Sweet Baby; it's other industries. But it's like, hey, you have to make your female, you have to make your character female, black, and trans and gay because that's important for the ESG score, and that's how you can secure funding so that you can make your game, so that you can put like $1 billion into it. But then, in order for all of that to be profitable and for you to have a return on the game for your shareholders, you need to put in a whole bunch of loot boxes and whatnot, like just monetize the shit out of it so that no one wants to play the game. And then you have these smaller studios that have come out recently as the as the industry is kind of busting right now. And what that allows for is smaller developers to actually come up and produce games like Helldivers and Pal World that are actually good games that people like legitimately want to play.
Here's the explanation.
So that's actually like that small boom and bust cycle, that tiny forest fire is actually really good for the economy. What I'm saying is, let's not try to prop up the AAA game studios and make them too big to fail. Let them fail. It's good for everybody, really.
So here's what's happening. The people who buy EA stock aren't buying EA games. They're investors. It's a fundamental disconnect.
Like, they have no idea what they're investing in.
It's insane.
Right. I mean, and this is like, so you have the problem of where you have all these individuals who have 401ks and retirements and insurance plans and all these things tied up in all this shit where like there's real life consequences to those fucking forest fires happening. Right. So like, that's why the Federal Reserve is kind of like an important thing. That's why like, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, listen, we're just going to make everything stupid stable so that the system's stable, you know what I mean, financially. Right. And that's what they do. They go and they buy they go buy like the bonds from like,
but that's how you end up. That's how you end up with companies that are too big to fail. That's how you have stagnation in the industry where there's no innovation for a fucking decade. Like, that's how you end up with bad shit. I prefer occasional small forest fires as opposed to big ones every 20 years.
Innovation, dog, because I mean, I feel like, you know, we just went through the fracking revolution and like the AI shit and all these things because of the fact that there was cheap capital from like the Federal Reserve.
I mean, that did fund AI. I will grant you that. That is true. Although I'm not.
The government has to give. Essentially, the expectation is the government gives the signal to private industry to go, yeah, this may be viable, and that's enough for people to go, okay.
But if you
you have to essentially give it a kick up the ass to get it going, and that's essentially what the government utility. That's the view of everyone, individual and private. That's what the government should be doing, is signaling to people what the option is, what the path forward is.
It's also just having the capital, right? So like literally, when the Federal Reserve has 0% interest rates, you can invest in shit, right? And like not expect a profit and have development, right? And this is, how do I put this? This is dangerous because like it creates a bunch of businesses that'll end up just expecting like long-term cheap capital forever, right? And so they'll never end up turning a fucking profit, i.e. Uber, right? But also it creates things like Amazon.com, right? Or Google, right? These big ass fucking things that end up being like fundamentally like changing for all of society. Which, I mean, listen, I'm fine with all this shit collapsing, but you need to understand from a governmental perspective, you know, what would happen if these things failed? If Alphabet collapsed, their stock collapsed tomorrow, bruh, like you do understand, like the vast majority of boomers wouldn't be able to stay retired.
But Tom, here's the thing about AI. Just to go back to that briefly. What we have right now, I mean, AI was produced as the result of a lot of investment. You know, some of it even came from Elon Musk. You know, with OpenAI and their Chat GPT, and it's really cool stuff. But I think that if we had allowed the market to boom and bust naturally and not try to control it, just little tiny forest fires all the way, we wouldn't have the let's say the weirdness of AI that we do right now, where like you can ask the AI, show me a picture of Biden, and it goes, yeah, sure, I can do that. And then, oh, show me a picture of Trump. It goes, no, Trump is he's a naughty figure. We can't do that. Like that's the government influence, the stability, the so-called stability of the market coming in and describing exactly how shit should be run with their ESG, DEI scores. Like if we actually just allowed things to fail occasionally and didn't try to intervene too much, I think that our AI would be I think we would still have AI today. I think it would be probably a bit different, and it would probably be less gay. So maybe that would be a good thing. I don't know.
I mean, no, we wouldn't, right? And this is the important
thing.
I think we would, man. All these tech companies got started from DARPA.
Well, I mean, Google did. I think probably Facebook did. or maybe not from DARPA specifically, but from other government funding
DARPA.
agencies.
It's all DARPA funding.
Okay, fine.
Like, this is the problem, and here's
Hold
another
on, man.
part
Let
of
me
this
get my
too.
tinfoil hat out for this one.
Yeah, 100%.
Get
Yeah,
that
like
shit on.
again,
Yeah, let me
here's
get mine
another
out
problem you have
too.
as well, right? Okay, here's another problem you have as well. If you wanted to start a car company right now, the amount of funding you would need just to get off the fucking ground is immense. It's insane, right? Just to meet like the safety standards and the specs and all the bullshit you'd have to just get a car to be road legal that you could build. It's fucking nuts. How do you do
I'm
this
telling you.
without massive amounts of capital?
We had the green energy biological solution millennia ago. It's called a fucking horse. You put grass in it, it goes forward.
Yeah, that is pretty good. That's actually green as fuck.
The issue I mean, it's kind of a moot point. The issue fundamentally is one has to travel insane distances to acquire things that should be quite close.
Oh, I've argued for like a better system. You know, I mean, where we have much more local things. You heard me argue this a million times, right? And I mean, like I'm 100% an advocate for these things, and that's why, like, I don't think that the 15-minute city is a bad idea, right? I've never like fucking. I heard that and I was like, that makes sense. Like, why shouldn't you be able to walk to the store to get a goddamn fucking, you know, what I mean, like get groceries? Why should that be so difficult?
Because why does you know what a 15-minute city is? It's called a small town, and we have many of them in America. Why do we need the government to build them for us?
Okay, so
they occur naturally.
Explain to me in your small town where it is that you're going to get proper like stores of meat and like really like actual like food
from a butcher.
Yeah, again, they don't exist.
What, dude? There are plenty of small towns that have like okay.
I've got a butcher here, man, but that's commonplace. But yeah, like more often now, like here in Australia, with new suburbs that get built, you don't get
those
like
are suburbs. Hold up. Those are planned.
Let me finish the point.
Yeah,
that's exactly the problem, right? Is shit that is getting built. It's either like all the areas getting knocked down. You get like a new major supermarket chain put up, like a Costco or some bullshit, right? You don't have the mom and pop stores, and now all the new planned suburbs are just continuation of the problem. Like it's just going to get worse and worse.
Yeah, and
that comes from top-down planning, though. The issue there is top-down planning as opposed to letting things
no. The issue
build up naturally, not top-down, bottom-up.
There's no planning.
No, there is too much planning. We want stuff to come from bottom-up, not top-down.
General. Here's what happens.
It's more like a public school
approach. All right. Here's what happens. The same as warehouse-like areas, right? Basically what ends up happening is you have like some farmer who gets old, right? And he no longer can farm and he wants to sell off his land because his kids went to college. And now, like, you know, I mean, they're the kid's original name was Michael and now it's Michelle, right? And they don't want to farm. They want to go and work for the government or a nonprofit or some nonsense. And basically the farmer doesn't make any money anyway. So it wouldn't matter if like fucking, I mean, the kid stood here and like fucking took over the farm. They'd end up going bankrupt in a year. So what ends up happening is like these fucking big ass real estate developers buy that fucking land. And then what they do is they go to like a fucking local fucking thing, go, I'm going to build houses. And they go, okay. And that's it. Right. There is no fucking planning whatsoever.
Yep. That's what's happening here, man. We are building sprawling suburbs with black roof tiles in a country like Australia that gets hot as fuck. Like black gets hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're building sprawling houses and suburbs on prime agricultural land.
That's dumb.
How the fuck are we going to feed everyone, mate? Like this is happening everywhere in the West. We're building on the shit that's productive. What is it now? It's tarmac and a bunch of like criminal families with like low paying jobs. They're stuck in a fucking sprawling neighborhood with nothing to do. We're creating ghettos. It's ridiculous.
No. What you're creating is nurseries for motherfucking like middle class white people.
Ugh. Well, it depends on the suburb, I guess. But as opposed to that, what you could do, and I think that actually,
we're in a technical recession here. The only reason we're not is because of migration.
I think that zoning is a big issue here, right? Because like, what if like some developer came in, said, okay, I'm going to build a whole bunch of structures, but these can be mixed use structures, right? In that case, you could have like a suburb, but like some of the stores would, like some of the houses or whatever would be converted into bodegas or 7-Elevens or, you know,
Okay.
whatever the
All right, let me.
whatever
All
the
right,
fuck
let
it
me.
is that the people need.
All
Like
right, let me.
that's good. Like that's how you establish like towns, and towns are how I think towns are cool. I like towns.
Right, here's how this works, General. Right. So basically, if you want to have a town, right, as in a general thing, where you have like a butcher, right, and like a fucking I don't know, a general store, right, as a whole thing, you have to have enough people to support it. Number one, and then number two, you have to already have like structures built. Right, which is why usually when you do find like a butcher or you do find like like a small general store, it'll be in a location that I mean is much older than that business, right? If you find them at all anymore, or like you'll go to like a farmer's market, for instance. Like so up here we have like farmers markets that happen on a regular basis. Like every week there's farmers markets open on like 3 or 4 days a week, and in there you'll have a butcher selling, I mean, like meat. You'll have like a guy who sells like peanuts. You have a guy who fucking people who sell like locally grown fucking eggs or whatever it is, and just like local fruit and vegetables.
Yeah,
and
I've
all
been to
that.
farmers markets before.
Right. Yeah. But like literally, because of the fact that they can't afford to have a storefront that they can build on their fucking own, and there's not enough population in these in these suburbs, right? Like, fucking man, listen. What up, Jacob? Right, fucking like so you have like these suburbs where you might have, I don't know, top end 1,000 people in them at the very fucking most. How many of them every week are going to go to the butcher instead of going to the Walmart that's 10 miles away, or the Target, or the
I mean,
Whole Foods?
I guess the Target or the Walmart or the Whole Foods, they have economies of scale, so they can probably sell their steaks for a bit cheaper than the local butcher can. Like
Yeah.
I get that.
Nah, man, no. But like
But
this is the problem, right? Like we have the major supermarket chains here in a duopoly, which is Coles and Woolworths in Australia. Now, it is cheaper for me to drive to the farm in my car and buy an entire live lamb for like $10 a head. What's a lamb? They're like 40 to 50 pounds a lamb, right?
Right.
Or I drive down to the store and I'm paying $15 a kilo for the shit cut. So that's $7 a pound, right? Like that's insane. Essentially the cost, the production cost, and the value that the farmer's getting is completely stripped away by the supermarkets, by the supply chain. Like they are price gouging the shit out of us. Like food should be much cheaper than it already is.
I mean,
But
all
this
right.
whole
I don't 100% agree with you, right? I
that's
mean, it
here
should be
particularly.
a little cheaper, but not by much.
no,
So
I've heard about this. They basically have a monopoly in grocery in Australia. It's kind of
Yeah,
fucked as
that's
far as I know.
very particular to here. But
Yeah,
I
it's
can
a weird
imagine similar
Australian
things
thing.
happening. Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
like,
it's one of those things where the Australians don't know how to manage a country. I mean, we've known that.
But
For a long
essentially,
time.
one would expect the price of goods to fluctuate much more on the shelf than they do.
I agree with you, right? And this is kind of like the problem. Again, people can't, when you're in a democracy, right? People will vote for what like keeps things stable, right? As far as like, consumption and all these type of things are concerned, right? And they voted for the like ability to have this system that we have right now because they like stability. They don't want to stand like the cost of having like an actual market. You know what I mean? That's kind of the problem. And understand, General, like I disagree with all the things that I've said tonight as a whole, right? But like this is literally like what it is.
This is the thinking process that the
And
establishment
this is
has.
why,
Yeah, I
like,
get
this
that.
is why, like, I fucking fight against people who say this shit's evil because it's not evil. It just serves a fucking purpose. You know what I mean? And like, we don't understand its purpose. I do, you know what I mean? But like, most people have no idea what its fucking purpose is. And it's important that you tell people like what the actual purpose of all this shit is.
Well, it's not evil. It just I don't even want to call it stupid because I think a lot of it is like very intelligently planned out. It's just that human I think it's a lot of short-sightedness. It's like, yes, this will work for the next 10 years. And then what happens after 10 years when, eventually like that system is no longer operating correctly and it's made things a bit worse? Well, someone else in 10 years will figure that out. So, why worry about it?
Yeah, Ronnie,
we put a
Ronnie,
Band-Aid.
I hope you're still here, bro. Yeah, I hope you're still here, because I'm gonna tell you another part of the system that this works for, right? The average farmer lives with $1 million in debt on his head, right? Like every fucking 5 years, they go and they trade in their fucking combine and they get a fucking new one, right? With new fucking gadgets and bullshit and nonsense, right? And literally they stay in perpetual debt forever. And each of these combines runs $4, $5, $6, $7, $800,000 each.
That is
Right.
true here.
Yeah, it's the same way.
They're beholden to production.
Mhm.
Like the farm is indeed profitable, but they're just the supply. The people in the supply chain are just holding it over them. At least here.
Here's a crazy one. The average take home pay for a chicken farmer is 20 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? The only way they can live is to have fucking the ability to take out fucking debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it is. Right. So like, you don't get food at like the prices you get them right now, because if you had to stand here and actually turn a real profit and like have the ability to have these farmers survive and then have future farmers, which is the big thing, right? Like, so if you want people to be farmers, you got to fucking pay them. You know what I mean? It has to be like a remotely profitable fucking industry where it's like, you're a farmer, you spend, 18 hours a day farming for probably 6, 8, 10 months out of the fucking year. And then there are 10 hours during the winter, going and moving cows around and water and hay and feeding and all the fucking bullshit. Dealing with checking them for like sores and sickness and all the shit that it goes with it, right? And calving and all these things, right?
What stuff, yeah.
All these things, right? Like legitimately, like you want that to like probably pay somebody, $110, $200, $300,000 a fucking year to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where the mentality is, right?
That's why they need more chickens.
These huge supermarkets essentially have taken over the butchering industry as well, right? So they're setting the market rate. The money here in this system, it's fucked. It's just not getting to the farmer, essentially.
Doesn't anywhere. It's the same everywhere. Literally, like what it is basically like there's laws here, even right where there's supposed to be like auctions and shit for fucking like cows, so like the prices can fluctuate for the farmers and they can make some money. They just, they just go to the auction and they buy every fucking cow, and then they just moved it to electric, so they just buy all the cows at once. Now they set a price.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, what are you going to do when, like, so the number one buyer of fucking beef and apples and chickens and shit in the fucking world, it's McDonald's, right?
They're pretty much like, we're paying this.
That's it. And that's the whole deal, right?
It's a little bit more fluid here, the beef market, where there is a little bit of, because you have all the different grades of beef and all the ages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it continues on. But essentially when it comes to the supermarkets and the processors getting the meat, they're like, we're paying this much. So it's all the steer pricing and all the people fighting over the cows. They're just the people that bring the cows to the butchers. And at the end of the day, they're like, we give you this much. It's essentially the same thing.
Well,
I think this market mechanism tacked on it. So if people feel like they're unable to maybe make a profit on a good day because beef's fetching a good price.
Well, I mean,
because it rained good in the western part of the country.
I think that when you have these huge corporations that can be so much larger than independent farmers, they can end up, I mean, kind of like having a monopoly of the situation. And they can go to a farmer and say, okay, yeah, you can make a 1% profit on your cow, and they can turn around, take that meat, and then make a 20% profit on it themselves. What would be, maybe better for the economy is that, both parties took away 10%, but, well, they're not going to do that because that would affect the shareholder in the bottom line. So, yeah, the farmer can get 1% profit and McDonald's gets 20% profit. And, well, they control the levers. So who's going to be able to do anything about it? Fuck it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's personally, I'm anti corporation. I like small businesses, but
I mean, I'm with you. All right, but DJ Ron, I want to address your shit. Basically the premise is farmers right now are the most productive humans that have ever lived in the history of mankind. You don't get that without that. the innovation and like the amount of like technical shit and like the fertilizers and the pesticides and the herbicides and like the ability to produce the amount of shit that they do is only available if you have cheap fucking capital and massive amounts of debt. That's where it is. And the debt can continually be rolled over for nothing. That's where the mentality is, right? And this is important to understand. Like, this is in everything now, right? That's just how that operates. Like, how do you go from feeding, what was it, 100 million people in, the 1930s to 350 million, 3 times that amount, and feeding them so much that literally people have fucking diabetes and they're just overeating themselves to death.
Well, that's corn. Corn did that.
Well, yeah, but like again, how'd you do that?
Man, you can't blame grass for that. That's people. People aren't putting grass in their mouth.
Yeah. No, that isn't grass. That is corn. I mean, actually, technically, corn is a
grass.
It is.
Corn is a grass.
But
that's why I said that shit.
But yeah, I mean,
I don't even know your enemy, General Chief. What is going on?
No. I mean, look, corn. For whatever reason, corn grows really, really well in American soil. It's native to America. It's really good in this soil. It's adapted to our climate, all that kind of stuff. We can grow a lot of corn here, especially in certain areas, and we can grow so much of it with modern day agricultural farming that we give it to all of our people. We make it into syrup, high fructose corn syrup. We give it to our cows. Cows aren't meant to eat corn. Cows are meant to eat grass. But you know what? Screw that. We're gonna give them corn.
Yo, we're giving it milk. Fish now.
Yeah, we're giving corn to everything. And the thing is that as lucrative and as profitable as that is, that's probably not how the ecosystem is actually meant to function, but it's how we're forcing it to function.
I mean, the bitch is it's not even that fucking profitable in the end of the day, right?
Well, the corn subsidies are really helpful in that. The taxpayer gets to pay for more corn.
Yeah, but again, it's just like none of this shit is super. And like, so in the end of the day, like, and all the things that corn's in, it's like everything in your fucking store. It's like 80% of goddamn shit in your fucking store, right? In your local grocery store. The average fucking item in a grocery store has 5 cents of profit, not 5%, 5 cents of profit per item, right? Like, the grocery stores are barely in business.
So
like for Walmart,
5 cents of profit for the store itself.
Yeah, right. Walmart itself, you know what I'm saying? As a whole, its grocery store operation is almost not profitable.
Well, that's in America. I think that they have a different thing going on in Australia. Australia is kind of a weird case here.
Yeah, I don't know what Australia looks like. I know in America it's fucked.
Essentially, right? the supermarkets, the grocery stores is skimming the fat out of the system, the excess profit, the excess capital. Things should be much cheaper. Inflation shouldn't be so high because the profiteering is causing the situation, at least in the system here. Shit does not just magically go up 50 cents. Like a $4 item does not go up 50 cents in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that is not 5% inflation.
Yeah, time for it. That's literally how much. Like, again, this is why I'll be real with you. And here's a crazy thing. In my area, right? Because I grew up, working like terrible ass places, all the time. The lowest of those places was always the grocery store. They pay the least amount of money today, even today, right? Like, you can go to your local convenience store, right? Where they usually make like $1 profit on everything, right? You can go to your local your convenience store pays $18.75 an hour. That's what Rutter's starting pay is universally, right? The grocery store, $8.97 an hour, right? That's just how it works because it is fucking impossible to operate a grocery store because it just doesn't make profit. Think about how much, there's this shit, it's called shrinkage, right? And shrinkage is basically just loss. It's, just what they call it, right? But
yeah, we're going to sell this half-ounce packet of chips. It's now slightly less for the same price.
No. It's, so, we have this fruit here, that like has sat here too long. Now it gets thrown away. Oh, this got damaged in transport. It gets thrown away, right? This meat went bad. It gets thrown away.
This banana doesn't meet our visual specifications. We can't purchase this off you. In fact, we can't purchase the entire batch of bananas.
No. Like literally,
that's what happens here, bro.
At the store.
No, so we have like the supermarkets have quality control, so they reject based on batch testing, reject entire harvests of fruit.
Oh yeah, that happens here too. But it's also like at the store once it's on the racks, there's stuff that doesn't sell.
It's because it's not cheap enough. That's the problem they're having.
No. It's just there's too much.
There should be just a big basket of fruit that's like, grab me, I'm free. It would disappear. I'm telling you. In fact, that would be cheaper than paying someone to put it in a bin and put it in the bin outside.
No, because then in America you can sue somebody if you get sick because that shit sat there too long. Because somebody's going to take it home and it's going to sit in their shelf for another week before they eat it.
Well, that would also the issue with that is that although it would probably, and I agree with you, Forrest Double, it probably would be cheaper to just put it in a bin and not have to pay someone to carry it all the way outside to the dumpster and then pay
in the bottom.
The garbage people to pick it up and haul it away for you. That would be cheaper, but it would reduce the price of the tomatoes and the bananas and whatnot. So actually, there's a hidden cost in giving shit away for free.
Yeah, so it would make more sense to buy direct from the farmer, correct?
That's a good idea. I like community level
like if
economics.
the issue is the fruit's too expensive and going moldy in the store, then the solution is to go get the fruit before it gets moldy, right? Because the people that are running the store are putting it in a box and letting it go moldy. Yeah, the solution seems very simple to me, but like the supply issue is the problem. The supply chain's the issue.
Well, I think the simplest solution.
And people are scared of spiders, so of course they're not going to eat fruit with like a black spot on it.
Well, and that's why no one wants food from Australia because it's going to become it's going to get shipped in with spiders like every time. And we don't want spiders here.
Crazy ass fucking fox bats and shit. And I mean,
dude, no one wants to import shit from Australia because it's going to be infected with scorpions and spiders. Like nobody wants that.
And we're further away, and Mexico's next door with cheap labor.
Like everybody knows that like Australia is a hellhole, but
correct.
But like I think that as this would be very difficult to implement, especially given the current infrastructure that we have in, let's say, here in America. But having a more localized economy seems better to me than having a whole bunch of neo-global corporations. But yes, Tom, I understand. Yeah, there are slim margins.
Well, I was showing the chat because the chat was like, "What?" Yeah, extremely slim margins at fucking grocery stores. Unbelievably slim. Yeah.
This is interesting.
This is
right?
what happens when you can't keep a chicken in your apartment.
You should be able to have.
I'm telling you, man, Big
Egg
chicken is out to get everyone.
Dude, a chicken can produce an egg like every day.
It's fucking it's faster than that.
That's so much
insane.
Food. It's so much food, and like an egg is actually a good meal. Like a single egg is like it's like a half of a meal. One egg is like half of a meal, at least from my perspective.
Oh, and here's your cure to COVID, mate. Like the egg has vitamin D in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you stay inside all the time, you just need to eat an egg.
And you know what they eat? They eat all the shit that no one else wants to eat, like bugs and
even
stuff.
your enemies.
Yeah.
If you died in your apartment and no one could find you, and you didn't have a cat and you had a chicken, the chicken would eat you.
I mean,
probably
true.
Better. It'd probably eat more of you than the cat would. The cat's picky.
Well, no, I mean you put a chicken and a cat in there, I think they'll devour the whole thing.
Yes, the chicken is the clean pig of the avian world, essentially.
Chickens are a beautiful animal. Actually, I've thought about this before. I think chicken meat is like some of the healthiest meat that exists, especially if you don't deep fry it. Like you would just eat it as is. Chicken meat is super healthy, and it's also like the cheapest meat that exists. Super high in protein.
There's no point eating anything if you haven't deep fried it.
Well, yeah. I mean, as an American, I should be in support of deep frying things. I'm a weird American. I actually don't like deep fried.
You
things.
should have
biscuit
on your biscuit.
Yeah,
wrapped in chicken.
No, you want to deep fry a Twinkie and put that between two burger buns, and that's
Jesus Christ.
No, that's the goal, right? But
Here, look, yo, you want to see a crazy chart?
It's got chicken on it.
What? Yo, hold on, bro. Hold on. I got to show y'all this fucking chart. This chart's fucking crazy, bro. Like, look at this shit, bro. Okay, so this is the median farm income, negative $849 a year.
Oh.
Wait. What is the median off farm and what is the median off farm income?
Okay, so basically that's when like the wife goes and gets a fucking job somewhere else.
What the fuck?
That's awful. That is something has gone wrong here.
This is hang on. This I see.
So a man can work in a farm with his wife, and he can if he works really really hard, he can earn upwards of negative $900 a year.
You just need to have one child earning minimum wage to be.
He can send his wife out to work at some fucking bank or some shit, and then she brings in all the cash, even though the man is working. See this. Something about this seems weird to me. Like it should be more.
Is this on average? This is the average. This is median, right? So I'm assuming there's some crazy ass separation between profitable farms and ones that are struggling.
Those are ones that scale.
Gap in the middle.
The only ones that work are the ones that scale, which means that they're really big farms.
Yeah. Or it's some weird ass like niche shit where you like massage the aphids that eat the cannabis before you ship it out to the customer and give it a name and shit.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like I've got my organic fucking milk. I yelled at the cow. Or the particular lines from the Stephen King novel, Your Girlfriend Specified.
I sucked the teats of the cow for 3 weeks before she got pregnant in order to stimulate the udders, in order to make the finest cow milk.
And I lost $849.
I had to spend $900 for the privilege of doing that. Yeah. No, something's fucked here though. Like you should you should be able to, work on the land and make profit from it. But I guess
doesn't deter me from you're a farm. I'm just saying.
I guess you're not allowed to. I don't know.
But come on, this isn't very convincing, Tom. Like,
hang on.
I mean, where's the IQ bell curve overlaid with this thing? Like,
hang on, wait.
Do we have the stats?
Hang on a minute, bro. Hang on a minute. I'm a
Does this include? What do you mean farm? Does this include like legal cannabis plantations in California?
Right, hang on, bro. Look at this chart, right? This is the This is the percentage of farming households with positive incomes.
Oh dear.
Where like you live on the farm and you work the farm. 37% of them had a positive income.
This feels like a hangover from democratic slavery policy.
I mean, it might. I don't know, but the residential farmer is basically
fucked.
They have like a 2/3 chance of losing money. And then even if you make money, you're making what, $8,000 a year? That's or whatever it is. That's all. That's awful.
I need to analyze this a little bit more. By farm households, does this include?
I can give you more. Wait, I got something great.
And also, I want to see what kind of animals are the failing farms.
Yeah, that's what I'm grabbing right now. At the moment, at the second.
They're not trying to grow corn, obviously.
Right? No. Wait. Maybe. Hang on. Wait here.
Maybe. Yeah, they should get into corn.
Rice, tobacco, cotton.
If you want to go a little bit further, get into corn and beef.
Okay. All right. So if you're growing beef, you make no money. Negative money. Poultry, negative money. General livestock, absolutely negative money.
So essentially what I'm reading from this is McDonald's owns most of the beef cattle production. Therefore, anyone that isn't owned by McDonald's is losing money because McDonald's own their own shit.
That might be it. Yeah.
That's my takeaway from that stat, bro. Like, it isn't that farming isn't profitable. It's because McDonald's is fat.
But Tom, can you explain this to me? How is it that someone can spend all day every day like in like I'm looking at this chart, right? Let's look at the beef cattle. Someone can spend all day, every day raising cows, and
nothing.
then
Less than
and then they have to pay for the privilege in this chart of spending all day, every day raising cattle. Something is broken in our economy if you have to pay for the privilege of doing that. That doesn't make sense.
I agree.
The problem here is this rice. Rice is full
I
of arsenic.
want to grow
tobacco.
tobacco.
Is not good for you.
I have to grow
Cotton's
tobacco.
water
That's
intensive.
the answer.
You know, like those top 3 crops right there, I think have a net negative to human satisfaction in the long run.
Dairy's good.
Like,
I like milk.
okay, why are a certain ethnic group of the world who predominantly feast on rice shorter than everyone on average? It's
All right, so I just want to throw this in. Cash grains is it corn, sorghum, soybeans, wheat, and other cash grains. Just so we know what the cash grains are.
Can I also say that these cash grains and oil seeds, which are seed oils, those are
high value fruit, high value joints.
Dude, aren't
literally fruit, nuts, vegetables, greenhouse, and nursery.
Essentially.
Aren't seed oils like really bad for you? Like fucking rapeseed oil and all that kind of shit, canola oil. It's bad for you. Like there's a lot of money in producing shit that is probably carcinogenic or
it depends. What is indeed bad for you is sitting sedentary like most people do, to the point that they have to like calorie count. Like, you have to eat, if you eat 1 snack bar, you get fat. Like that's
by the way, I am on USDA.gov.
Yes.
Yeah,
Listen,
but I've heard a lot that seed oils are bad for you. Like sunflower seed oil is bad for you. What is the canola oil is rapeseed oil or whatever. Like I've heard. I don't know because I don't keep track of dietary stuff that much. It
wouldn't be a leap of logic to say that it is impossible to obtain that kind of refined oil in a natural diet. It is weird. If the stomach, I don't know, I'm just hypothesizing here, but that is not something the stomach has come into contact with up until recently.
No, it's almost certainly not. And what I've heard, I don't know, but what I've heard from my fellow man is that it's actually really bad for your gastrointestinal tract and it can cause cancer. Like,
well, that's fine. You just gotta smoke a little bit of cannabis and cancel that out, man. You can eat as much.
Right. So
that's how that works.
Here's the median household income from farming, right? This is total household income of farm households by USDA. So the top end, the best ones, is $13,000.
Meth
in the Northern Great Plains.
Right.
Okay, so I'm curious, right? So
what is the main production outputs of that particular region of these profitable? Is this mostly dairy? I presume it would be based on the previous stat.
Probably like wheat.
I mean, dairy was one of the profitable things there.
So Tom, I know a slight amount about this. A lot of farmers did subsistence farming back in the day, and I assume that there are still people that do that. So maybe
that was predominant style up until recent.
Yeah. So maybe some of these farmers, they're quote unquote losing money because like of all the work that they have to put into it, and like maybe you would base their labor off of like $10 an hour or something, and therefore they're losing money. But actually, what they're doing is subsistence farming. They're able to feed themselves and they can sell a little bit extra. And it looks like it's negative because they should be getting $10 an hour. But in fact, they're really getting like, I don't know, like fucking, $8 an hour.
Yeah.
And
like
so,
all my cows have 3 legs. I don't know what happened. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's where the extra comes from. You got the leg.
No, like maybe actually
the system
maybe
isn't
the
accounting for
farming,
it's not accounting for the redundancies and the efficiencies in the system.
Or maybe it's not accounting for subsistence farming, where actually they're just feeding themselves. And
yes,
you would expect that they would get like some amount of minimum wage. They're making a little bit less from that, but they are able to feed themselves, which means that they don't have to have any expenditure of income. So economically speaking, it looks like they're doing poorly because they're getting less than minimum wage, but
yes,
they're able to feed themselves. So actually they're doing a little bit better, but on graphs, it looks like they're doing worse. Because this is the funny thing that you can do with statistics, right? You can
What
actually
is a
make
dozen
it.
eggs worth, General?
Where I live,
you are, yeah.
I don't know, like $6 or some shit like that.
How much is it to go purchase a pullet, which is it's a hen, it's just not quite laying yet.
I've never, I swear, I've never bought
here
a chicken.
Here you can go to a chicken farm and get a pullet for $5 Australian.
Really?
Yes. You just walk into the door and go, hey, can I have a couple of chickens? And they're $5 each, whatever. You can barter with them.
Yeah,
I can buy a
No,
chicken for $5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those things, once like, give it a month or two, they start laying. They pay themselves off within the first week.
Dude, I want to.
And they keep laying essentially until they die, pretty consistently.
Dude, I want like an apartment chicken because I live in
talking
an
about
apartment,
big
but I
egg.
want an apartment chicken.
Big eggs convince you that it's not a good idea to have a chicken. It is a terrible idea to get a duck. Don't get a duck. They shoot every.
No, I don't want a duck.
Ducks are the most filthiest animals I've ever fucking.
They're loud.
Horrible.
I love them, but I hate them. I've got 2 ducks.
But what's wrong with an apartment chicken?
Nothing. I don't see any reason why you can't have an apartment chicken.
I
You have,
could
a,
set
you
up
have
a
like an
little-
outside.
I mean, I have 2 cats, so like obviously like I would have to put up like a little fence.
No, the chicken will fight the cats, dude.
Will the chicken win?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, shit. Well, in that case, they'll teach you they'll teach each other to not fight each other. They'll learn. So it'll be a free range apartment chicken.
The cat can definitely win, but the chicken is like a really difficult charisma check.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what the
it's
chicken's
very
got going for it.
aggressive. Yeah, it's a very aggressive animal. Yeah.
And if I'm at chicken height, it is incredibly terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't
that
want
makes
my
sense.
eyes to be pecked.
No, it has those little talons, yeah, and stuff. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna look into apartment chicken. If I could, all I need is one chicken. Like that'll feed me for a while,
And the thing is with chickens, man, is like no one really cares if you like have to kill them because they're like sick or anything. Like people only really care about things that like dogs and cats. For whatever reason, I'm not really sure.
Okay, so do you think
you just eat the chicken and not like no one's going to question you just like eating a chicken?
So I'm pretty sure that the chickens they're like omnivores. They'll just like eat anything, table scraps, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so the pig of the avian world.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Pretty fucking good animals, but
like clean.
Do you think that they would eat cat poop? Because we
I don't know.
We're a producer. We're a net producer of cat poop.
They will eat cat food.
They'll eat cat food, not cat poop.
I don't think they will eat cat poop. The farm sector is more than Jesus, $500 billion in debt.
Yeah.
That's a good number.
The average farm carries $1.3 million in debt.
What is like the top like 30% of farms doing, or top 10% of something versus?
I don't know. I'm having a hard time finding data on this.
Yeah, so I assume there's a huge ass gap. There's probably a lot of farms that are just surviving. A small portion dying.
But you've seen what farms the most amount you can expect to make as a farmer. You have cows is like negative $100.
Because in my mind, when a farm fails, what happens to the farm? Another farm just sort of consumes it. So yeah, like you're losing it on paper, but another one's sort of yeah.
Shit's fucked.
Hey Tom, according to YouTube statistics, what's the ideal length of a live stream?
I don't know why.
69 minutes, I would imagine.
It's about that, actually. Yeah, about 69.
I don't know. Listen, I feel like we were having like a really good conversation, y'all. Just chilling, like putting up information.
That was good. Yeah, keep going.
You know what I mean? Like, we're having a great conversation about like farms and farming.
Yeah, 8.5% increase in debt.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like again, this is where we are in America with our farms. Like shit is completely fucked.
The problem I'm having with this analysis of stat is that it's like a catch-all. I need to look like a read. If it could be broken down into counties, that would be fantastic. Because then we could get like a rank and order of which areas are actually profitable, and then we could look at what are they actually producing? And then we could look at how much meth they're smoking in those areas, because I imagine there's a massive correlation
Well,
between just no, sorry, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek point, but like access to services, community actually existing, and the community not just self-immolating by smoking meth. But this is like a chain cause effect cycle
meth-
thing that it grows in order of magnitude as time progresses.
no, meth is a little bit like coffee. It gives the populace energy, and you want the populace to have energy.
No, but it's a boom bust thing, but you don't recover from the bust. You need new users.
Well, that's why we're
meth
importing the third world right now. That's how we do it.
So you're getting new meth vesters in from overseas.
Meth vesters. That's actually you just coined that term, but I'm going to use that term.
I did.
Yeah.
I was just calling that.
That's good.
Yeah, because you can't like at least with the stoner portion of the population, you can just give them a bit of Adderall
information, right? All right, so basically, like the average chicken farm just to get it started costs like $1 million, and like the amount of money you make a year is fucking like nothing.
What scale are we talking? Are we talking battery caged hens? Or
no, we're talking about like a chicken. Like, so you ever seen like them big long houses that they keep chickens in?
Yeah, chicken house.
Yeah, fucking one of those costs $500,000.
No, so I'm more of the Darwinian chicken farm approach, where you have a significantly high fence that can deter only but the strongest foxes, and then they get into the enclosed pen, and only but the strongest chickens survive.
I support this. This actually sounds smart to me. Like that makes sense. You want a little bit of Darwinianism in your animal husbandry, you know?
Well, this is true. If I had a larger flock of ducks, I've got two, but one of the two ducks is incredibly loud. Now, if I had multiple ones, if I had to eat one of them, I'd eat the loudest one, right? Because that's going to attract the predator. This is how it works. You eat the most annoying one.
No, that's facts. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe the reason like the beef farms aren't profitable and the chicken farms aren't profitable is because you've completely fucked with the Darwinian system of evolution as far as like the progressive intelligence increase of surviving animals, right? Because you've made it easy to live, and we've done the same thing with self-domestication, right?
Yeah,
that may be what is happening.
You know, I completely agree with your assessment. I bet that, like with dogs, I bet that we ate way back in the day when we were still, hunter gatherers or whatever. I bet that we ate the dumbest dogs.
Correct, and this is what's happening, right? The animals that are outside of our like little domesticated world system and shit that we're pushing out of our society, only the strongest survive. So of course you're gonna get the most aggressive bears and the most curious raccoons. And this kind of shit going on. And yeah, essentially we're just going to like get super intelligent animals and they're going to become more and more difficult at this point, I imagine.
But here's the thing. Unfortunately, we can't eat our fellow man. And so the domestication process keeps making us dumber. But
okay.
If we were able to eat our fellow man, might be different. I don't know.
All right. So check us out, right? All right. So cash receipts from the sale of agricultural commodities are expected to decrease by 21.2 billion, right? From 485 billion from 4.2% to 485 billion in 2024. And then here's the bottom paragraph. Meanwhile, total production expenses, including operator dwelling expenses, are forecast to increase 16.7 billion to 455 billion dollars.
What is the actual tonnage production or whatever stupid?
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's fucking insane.
My question is the total volume of production still increasing of these cash crops or whatever?
Wait, Tom. Meanwhile, total production expenses, including operator dwelling expenses, are forecast to increase by 16.7 billion to 455 billion. Okay, so it's not that large of an increase.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it's literally the amount of fucking money that you're going to make.
That's less than inflation. What's the problem?
the amount they're going to make.
That's
is
half
Yeah,
of
that
really-
probably
inflation.
is.
What's
That
the
probably is
problem?
actually less than inflation. Yeah,
wait. That's not what I'm saying. Listen, so
3.8%.
the amount of the agricultural commodities that are going to be produced is 485 billion, and the amount it's going to cost them to produce it is 455 billion.
Well, that's why we have subsidies. We make the taxpayer pay for it.
I'm telling you, man, the issue is that the production is there are ways in like obviously you centralize wheat production because not everyone just grows little tiny patch of wheat, right? You grow a big field of wheat. But you can decentralize egg production, and I reckon if you did that, this would be a profitable number right here. Look at this. Declines in receipts for eggs. So the problem is with chickens and egg production is that people can just have them in a super low maintenance, bro. They eat the shit. They eat your waste, except for your poo. They eat your food scraps and turn it into eggs.
Well,
All right.
It makes money off
actually,
your
All
money.
right, check it. The average
wait.
net cash farm income for farm businesses is forecast to decrease by 27.2%.
Listen, Tom, what I'm saying is the cost it took them to give everyone the COVID vaccine, they could have given them 4 chickens and a rooster.
That
Yeah, I
is
know.
potentially true. But here's the thing, right, Tom? If we and this is what I personally advocate for. I'm more of an and prim myself. I think that both the and coms and the and caps are kind of weird. More of an and prim myself. But if we just had the farmers not sell, their shit to McDonald's or these mega national corporations, but sell them to the local butcher, who would then sell that stuff to the local grocery store, who would sell it to the local community, and we just had small communities, then actually I think that the farmer would be doing relatively well. I think that really
I have a question.
the problem in all of this is the fact that the farmer has to sell to a mega national corporation like McDonald's.
I have a question for you, gentlemen.
Okay,
right?
what's that?
Here's my question.
Okay.
How many butchers are you going to set up?
I'm personally not going to set up any. I'm a bug man. I live in the city in an apartment. I'm a piece of shit. But theoretically, wouldn't it be nice if we had smaller scale economies? Wouldn't that be nifty? Wouldn't everyone do better? I guess except for the CEOs and the shareholders.
What up, Justin? Right. Yeah, I feel where you are, right? You know what I mean? Fucking my boy General. I'm an agrarian person too. I'm down for the ideology, right? But I'm just saying, this is not sustainable long term. Look at this, bro.
No, this can't be sustainable. I hope
27.2% decrease in revenue for farms.
Well, I guess they just have to. All I can assume is that Trump will make things better. So just hold out until 2025, I guess.
Where's the stats on the profitable farms that do succeed? I want to see what separates them from the rest, because this is just what I'm seeing here. It's a failure of government to assist business, but I'm also seeing a failure of business to adapt. By and large,
again,
honestly,
the problem,
this isn't just a government issue. This is people are stupid, and stupid people are bosses.
This is not a problem.
Yeah. No. Actually, that's Tom.
Tom,
that's a good point. What if we brought up the statistics of restaurants? Because I know that most restaurants fail, but there are restaurants that very much succeed and make a lot of money.
They don't make a lot of money, but they're
some do.
Open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, just food is not profitable in America. It's just
but sometimes it is. If you're good at it, it can be profitable, but you have to be good at it.
The only time food is probably profitable is when you operate at scale or you sell upper end. One of the two.
Yeah. The bourgeoisie reality is that things you can't eat are the profitable things. Except for super expensive cheese and champagne and stuff like that.
Yeah. Right.
They're like gold. They're like food gold.
Yeah, right. But literally, so I know a guy who owns a pizza shop, right? Literally, his take home every year is probably around $43,000, and he has a really successful pizza shop. It's really it's super successful.
He needs to start selling merch. This is what I'm saying, bro. This is the problem we're having. People got to diversify their income streams. Like, if he's got such a successful
shouldn't
pizza shop,
have
I bet
to.
you a bunch of people are going to buy stupid t-shirts.
He shouldn't
Yeah,
have
but,
to
I mean,
diversify his fucking
how
stream. He
many-
makes pizza, bro. Listen, yo, look,
Think
it's like,
about
it's like,
how many
listen,
people
if
are
I
going to come
trained
into his
really, really
pizza shop.
hard to be like the best chef in the world, and then they look to me, okay, you're a chef. Now, can you farm?
But
You know what I mean? No.
But like, how many people think about, like, you know,
bro, we got a
statistically-
chicken suspended above the pizza, ready to put the egg straight on there.
No, I mean, like like an egg on the pizza actually sounds pretty good. Like,
It's really
I'll
nice.
accept that. Yeah, but like, think about, like, let's say that you own a really good pizza shop. Like, what percentage of customers that come in there are actually going to buy your $25 t-shirts? Like, maybe like 2% if you're lucky. Like, that's not going to be.
No,
that
man, you're
can't be
doing it
most of
all
your
wrong.
business.
You're doing it all wrong. You pay like 50 cents for like fuckloads of shirts from China, bro, all printed, and you sell them for like $5
You
each.
can't anymore. That doesn't exist.
Actually, Mexico is a better place to buy t-shirts nowadays than China.
Technically,
That's my
North
understanding.
Carolina is a better place to buy t-shirts because you
I don't care where the shirts are coming
American
from,
made.
guys. Just get it done.
I mean,
shirts in general, like as a whole, unless you're ordering like millions of them, right? Are gonna cost, you know, I mean, like fucking $15 a pop. Get them made, just like because it's a small.
No, you're insane. Then there's not that much to get shirts, man.
well, maybe in Australia because you guys are closer to China,
Exactly.
but like around here, like that's how much they cost about.
It's shipping, bro. Shipping's expensive. You know what I mean? But like again, this
shirts
whole
are already
mentality is like it's dumb, bro. Like it just should be profitable. Number one problem is people don't want to pay for things. That's the number one problem. Second problem is that we have this massive like subsidy set up for like giant ass fucking businesses and shit, right? Like it just economies of scale make things like affordable for average human beings so that they can eat. That's what it is.
I think that it would be really, really cool if like people could make more money but also have to pay more money for goods. And the way that we would do that is we shut down the border. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Things will cost more, but you will get paid more, and more money will circulate in the economy.
All right.
And then
So-
that seems pretty chill to me. I like that
Yeah,
idea.
listen. Here's the thing, though. What will happen is a lot of people will starve, and this is why you're an accelerationist if you vote for Trump.
Well, the problem is they're not eating each other.
Yeah, we do need Soylent.
It's not that
Soylent
people will
is
starve;
a
it's that the
solution.
people aren't eating the government and like taking the shit they need to eat.
Okay, so like, and here's the crazy. All this debt that we look at for like farms, it's all federally fucking backed.
It doesn't exist, bro. Grass does not stop growing. Find me a tree that gives a shit about our economic system.
That's actually
I've taken so many shrooms, bro, and all of them have told me, "What the fuck are you on, cunt?"
Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, dickhead, sorry.
Right?
But it is to the point, though. It's like, come on. Essentially, it's a supply issue, right?
It's
This
not a supply
doesn't get
issue.
to B.
It's not. It's a processing issue.
Oh, a supply chain.
No, it's a processing issue.
How do I turn Tom Penoid into bread and get
Okay,
the bread?
right. Here's where it is, right? It's literally like, how do you turn wheat into like food, right? Because you can't just eat wheat. I mean, you can, but it's terrible, right? But like eating wheat is horrible. So like you have to process that wheat, and processing that wheat at a smaller scale is like expensive as fuck.
I
right?
agree. All wheat should be used to make beer.
I agree, right? But
I agree with that. That's the best point that's been made
that's
tonight.
like, it's just like rice, right? Rice as well. Like if you want to like fucking have large like scale rice production, you can't do it with, you know what I mean, like small
We
farmers.
should be using rice to create concrete.
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't know. Well, we're gonna put some rice in there anyway. It's gonna be better than whatever China is doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, like
It's better than
the
China.
rice, yeah, like the rice, you know what I mean, as a whole, like you should probably like use the rice to, you know, throw into like fucking BB guns and shoot at people. Right, that should be what rice is used for, or to throw people at weddings. But like rice is, you know, again, these are all problems of like scale. Like if you want to have like, you know, local agriculture, like for like fucking cows and pigs and chickens locally, you're going to have to change laws and accept the fact that things are going to be more expensive. Just how it works.
Okay, so what about this, right? Right now we have cities.
Mhm.
There are, I could name a few cities that exist in America. You have things like the District of Columbia and New York and
Los
Miami
Angeles.
and Guatemala, right? So these are all cities that exist in the United States. So like, what if they were all more like city states and they had to sustain themselves? They had to have a large area around them that was dedicated to farming, kind of like how we used to do it back in the olden days. What about that? Maybe that would be better. Though I think the farmers would get more respect than they currently get, and it would probably be more profitable.
Yeah, but then you don't have anywhere for people to live who work inside the city because the city isn't a place where human beings can live.
No, they can live in the high-rise apartment buildings.
It's because they don't have chickens on the roof.
Apartment chickens, I think, is a solution.
Sort of. It's a tacked-on solution, but it's a little bit beside the point. That essentially, we're not building livable environments. It's very much what's the word? I can't think of it. Oppressive architecture, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Things
And-
aren't livable.
Yeah, I agree. Right?
Almost
This is what
intentionally, so
happens
I
when,
agree.
like, you don't plan anything, right? And this is where like
No, dude. The issue is when it comes to planning, because
Nothing was planned.
planning is the issue. It's not the solution. Planning is the issue. It's why things go to shit. It's human planning.
Mm-mm. Humans
Yes.
didn't plan any of this shit. It all grew up naturally.
No, the reason if it had grown up purely naturally, then it would have been fine. It was humans trying to influence the way that it was growing that made it mutated and deformed. Human planning is the cancer on otherwise beautiful systems.
Right. I mean, again, like, it was all this shit wasn't planned, right? So like if we had like long-term planning for like food and things of this nature, right, and we would have a much better system. But we didn't plan any of this shit.
No,
Like,
no,
we
dude.
didn't build anything up.
Dude, you're incorrect here. Human planning does not result in better things. Human planning, basically, like 98% of the time, results in way worse things.
Okay.
Everybody
so, like,
knows this.
Listen. So like here's the thing. If you planned like a suburb, right? I mean, you had a suburb going in. And instead of just selling them all as residential houses, right? You sold like you put a lot in for a butcher shop and put a lot in for a general store, right? And you said Dollar General's not allowed to be here, right? And you stood here and you said, we need somebody to be a butcher, and somebody in this fucking place who buys one of these spots will give you a place if you like learn how to be a butcher or if you're a butcher, right? That is human planning that works.
That's real planning. That is social planning. That's not just like, oh, I'm designing cities on SimCity or City Skylines. That's actual use, function, utility.
Okay. Or
it's like having a playground with a swing set and monkey bars instead of just a slide.
Or
and that's it. And like a $50,000 art installation.
Alternatively, as opposed to building a space and then saying, if I build it, they will come, which I think is that's like the epitome of human planning. Instead, what you do is you just have a space, and if someone is good enough at butchering, then they will accrue enough dollar values to open their own butcher shop, and they will be the best at that thing, and that will occur naturally from the bottom up.
You have to assign the space to the specific use need, and
they'll find a way to rent out a store. It'll be okay.
This is the core. You've got a massive area, right? We're just assigning one small area. Here's the fire station. Here's the police station. Here's the guy with the meat.
Stop planning shit. Just let it go.
No,
just
you
stop zoning.
General, we already did this. We never planned to have a butcher. We never planned anything. We just said, here's houses. You guys figure it out after that.
That's the best way to do it. Don't zone. Build shit.
You know what happens? You know what happens, General, when you don't when you do this shit?
What happens?
You just end up with a bunch of Dollar Generals all over the fucking place.
That is okay. Hold on. I understand.
You specify to the community that
I understand
this particular lot is designated to be the meat dude.
Dollar
the meat
General
dude will be there forever. Fuck Dollar General.
Okay, Dollar General is basically a predatory institution that came from the big cities, and it flew into these more rural populations. And it decided to be like a carry-on eating vulture and just nom nom all the stuff. But I mean, that's what vultures do, right? It's kind of a predator, and like you have to fight it. But ultimately that's a problem that came from the cities to begin with, which originally came from human planning, right? So it's like you're saying, oh well, the issue with not having human
No. What
planning is that
happened
we
was,
can't account for the demons
here's
that
what
have
happened.
been produced from human
No,
planning.
no,
It's like, well, yeah, I mean, but
here's what happened.
there's a
No,
problem
here's
there.
what happened, General. Or this is really what happened. Okay,
Mhm,
what
mhm.
happened is we said, listen, we're not going to like have any type of planning, and people and businesses can come and go as they leave, as they want, right? And so what happened is Walmart's came in like this local area, right? And they killed off the general store, they killed off the butcher, they killed off all the fucking like local producers of all the things that happened, hardware stores and fucking, you know, what I mean, like I don't know, bookstores, whatever it was, right? Clothing stores, they killed all these things, furniture stores. And then like you're fucking all of a sudden you were left with just people because you didn't plan, right? And like so then, you know, what I mean, somebody comes through and goes, hey, I want to be a butcher here, right? And they open up a butcher shop, but everybody's like, oh my God, your prices are like way more expensive than, you know, what I mean, the goddamn Walmart, because Walmart, that butcher that they have is, you know, what I mean, a Guatemalan kid who works in a factory, you know, what I mean, in North Carolina, right? Who they pay, you know, what I mean, $8 an hour, and you can't
they
afford
own
to
the
butcher
farm
meat
they're
for
getting
that
the
because
beef
you have to
from.
pay for the shop, your house, your car, yourself, right? And the meat.
They own their own supply chain, man. That's the issue.
Yeah.
There's no. It's like the concept of separation of government and religion, church and state. Separation of the wholesaler for the retailer.
Do you guys have that shit in Australia?
Essentially, yeah. But essentially, like you know, your Costco's probably not the worst offender, to be honest. But you know, these huge supermarkets, these huge chains, they own the whole supply chain. So essentially, they can dictate to the market. They are the market.
Yeah. That's exactly, like literally we didn't plan anything, General. Nothing was planned.
And the less we plan, the better. But we have and no.
Again,
I mean,
literally, no. When
no,
you
dude,
don't
check
plan
this out, right?
anything, when you don't plan anything, then people will take advantage of shit.
If you look at, let's say, like the city streets of London, those are obviously not planned. They're they look more like a spaghetti or like a vein system, like or an artery system, as opposed to an actual like designed out city. New York, that's a design city. It has grids. You can tell squares everywhere. Humans love squares. London was not that. And because London was not planned, right? New York City was planned. London was not. And I mean, I guess that like right now, you know, like New York City is, it's a bigger city. I mean,
it's about balancing
both
the
have their
organic
problems,
systems,
but
the organic
you can
development
make a
with
city
people.
that works without planning. You don't
Correct.
have to top down plan a city and have it. It can still work fine. Like London worked fine up until we decided that it should no longer be made out of British people and it should be made out of the entirety of the third world, which, you know, some people think is a good thing. You know, maybe some people think it's a bad thing. Who knows? But, you know, like it worked for a while. You know, there's nothing wrong with not planning shit.
No, there is, right? Because even when it came to London, as it expanded, they also like, you know, expanded plumbing and like electrical wires and, you know, I mean, like all the things underground of London as it expanded. You know what I'm saying? They had to do that.
Yeah, and it still works. It's fine. Like you
The
can
government's
not
role-
plan shit and it'll be fine.
But the government's role is to organize the private labor to facilitate the capacity. So, like currently in my country, the issue is that hasn't happened, and now there's a housing issue. So housing prices are inflated because there's a housing demand. And it's not enough houses getting built, right? Yeah, this is all like this is a chicken and egg thing. Where now the government's like, oh well, we have to subsidize housing costs. What's that going to do? All that does is introduce more capital to the system and inflation costs.
Yeah, it's a problem that we have as a whole, and it's because of the fact that we're afraid to, like, you know, I mean, stand here and actually do things that are good for us as people. You know what I mean? We're afraid to do shit that's like good for like human beings.
Dude, the shit that would be good for
pain
us,
for long-term gain, but we have short-term gain for long-term pain. That's the government ethos in the West at the moment.
The shit that would be good for us as people would be to get rid of the centralization, return to communities, have mom and pop bodegas and butchers and
have
local
to
groceries. That would be good
plan.
for humans, but we're not going to do shit that's
Listen,
good for
listen,
humans.
you
We're going to do shit that's
understand?
good for the government and the bottom line of corporations. That's what we're going to do.
All right.
Everybody
Do you
knows that.
understand that? Like literally, what you would have to do to make that happen, in general, what you would have to do is you would literally have to basically just steal things from like property owners, right? Like for instance, you'd have to like if you have a Dollar General in
No,
the town,
I don't want
that's
that.
no longer no. Listen, we're now stealing that Dollar General store, and we're gonna make it into like a local mom and pop shop.
That's not what I propose. I propose something
That's
a little
what
bit
you're
different.
going to have to do.
I propose something a little bit different than that.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do, buddy?
All right. It's quite simple.
Go ahead.
See, how is it that we can make it so that American businesses can stand in the face of the overwhelming might of, let's say, India and China when it comes to their sheer manufacturing capabilities? How can we make American businesses be able to stand up to those when they have so much source of cheap labor? Well, it's called tariffs, right? So here's my proposition. We have a series of communities, potentially hundreds of thousands of communities throughout America. And it's cheaper to buy and sell products within your community than without your community. And there you go. That's the whole thing. Boom. Done.
Okay.
Got 'em.
All right. So, General, okay. I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Have you ever made a hammer?
I have never made a hammer.
Okay. So, when you make a hammer, right? It's
Have you made a
really,
hammer?
really- yes, I have. When you make a hammer, right? It's really, really difficult to make your first hammer, right? It's actually easier to make your second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th hammer, right?
Yeah,
Than
that
it
makes
is to
sense.
make your first hammer, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, it doesn't become like a lot easier to make hammers until you're able to make like 1,000 hammers, right? But like nobody needs 1,000 hammers in your community. So every fucking hammer that you have to make, right, is going to be unbelievably costly for you to make, and you're not going to make a lot of money out of it for what you put in.
This is economics 101. It's the it's the opportunity cost. Yeah, it's the
economy's a scale problem, right?
Yeah. It's you have an opportunity cost, and this is why China manufactures everything. Or actually, they no longer manufacture everything. Actually, that's being exported into India and Mexico right now because now their workers actually are expecting more pay for shit. But
they assemble things.
But here's the thing, right? The standard argument from the economists is, well, there's opportunity costs, ergo, you should maximize open borders and you should maximize free trade because that's how you maximize, all the maximization of hammers exchanging with nails, exchanging with video game cartridges and all that kind of stuff. And that's the standard economic argument, but that is also the standard libertarian argument, which I know that you're not a big fan of, Pinoid.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there has to be an issue with this idea of opportunity cost, because while opportunity cost makes sense economically, yes, I can produce more hammers than you, and you can produce more nails than I can, so we should trade nails for hammers. What that ends up doing is it hollows out the community. And it leads to, I guess, the situation that we have right now with mega national corporations that have maximized the opportunity cost for everything. And now they can just, even without having a monopoly, they can lay down control over the economy. Something has gone wrong. Something about this ideology is not working because it seems to oppress the average man. So there's something that's wrong. Now, I don't know exactly what's wrong with this because I'm just a stupid chimp at the end of the day. But what I would say is that whatever the correct solution probably would bring us closer to more of a community economic space as opposed to a centralized global economic space. And while I don't have any good solutions myself, the only solution I can think of is maybe we need tariffs, even between communities. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe someone else that's smarter than me can come up with a better solution. But we find ourselves in a bit of an economic trap right now, I believe. I mean, is this not correct?
So, General, here's what you would have to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is some actual like real shit. What you would have to do is, number one, right? You would basically have to give out things like homes to people to be able to start or run businesses, right, in the community, just to start with, right? And
what we need is a new frontier. Actually, a new frontier would fix everything. We don't have any
new frontiers left. That's over with.
Well,
that's done. That's done, dog. That's done, dog. It's over with.
Well,
okay?
maybe we go to Mars. I don't know.
People are already where they need to be. So, like, what you would have to do is you would have to basically go, all right, all these Dollar Generals, fucking Family Dollars, all this shit, right? All these Sunoco's, whatever the case is. Now these are all now owned by somebody in that community, right? And that is yours, right? And you are now in charge of that, right? And then what you would have to do is you'd have to start handing out things like chickens and mini cows and, setting up like basic like farming and agriculture in, like suburban neighborhoods. You'd actually have to probably confiscate some fucking land from some of these fucking people who live in there, like backyards and shit for like.
Not interested in that, dude.
Yeah, this is what you're going to have to do.
Nah, you don't have to do that.
You do, right? You don't have a choice, right? If you want your system, you want shit to work. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Freddie, homie, you know what I'm saying? I gave you a moderator wrench. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the chat. Nice to see everybody comes a moderator or hops in my motherfucking chat. That's how it works.
Look, man, I'm real interested in the idea of just sending every family a chicken and just seeing what happens over the course of the next 2 months.
Send them 3 chickens, right?
3 chickens. That seems good, yeah.
Send them a breeding pet. Well, just send one. I think send one.
3.
No, dude, you need at least
3 on the
one rooster and 1 chicken, so that if they wanted to have babies, they could have babies.
You can't have that many roosters in close proximity. Like if every rooster is going to be
1 rooster, 2 chickens.
3 chickens, and everybody 3 chickens because
every household gets 1 chicken, and every 10th household gets a rooster. So it incentivizes the community to like breed the chickens.
Yeah, and that would also incentivize community coming togetherness so that they could have chicken sex with each other. Yeah. Yes, that would be good.
We spend way less.
That's community togetherness
already.
Yeah, no, that would be good. Actually, I support this.
Egg chickens, right? Some layers, right? And we could probably send out some bantams too, because bantams are entertaining.
Well, you just instantly cured every vitamin D deficiency in the US. Except for the people that are allergic to eggs, you probably killed a couple of people.
We'll send out some mini cows, right, to the community.
A cock monopoly. Yeah,
we'll ban fences in backyards, right? So that way, like the mini cow can just go around and graze on everybody's grass. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Chat. Fucking hell, chat.
You know what I mean? It makes sense, right? As a whole, right? And like you could start like raising meat in your local community as a thing. Also, what you probably have to do is if you want like local businesses, you're going to have to incentivize it, right? So you're going to have to like give, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to give people like a fucking home who are going to be butchers. If you want that, if you want a butcher in your town, you need to incentivize somebody to be a butcher in your town.
Yep.
I think a good butcher will be able to find his own place in the economy.
Oh my fucking god, dude! Legit. How much does a butcher make?
I don't know. Probably not enough.
We can look it up.
What about halal butcher? There's probably a niche premium there.
Oh, or one of those. What's the Jewish one? The kosher butcher. Yeah, if you're a kosher halal butcher, you're gonna make money.
We just have the 2 dudes in the back room. They just go. They do the prayer of the mate. All good.
I got it.
It's
right.
the same thing.
Hang on, I'm gonna grab this motherfucking joint, bro. I'll put it up on the fucking screen so you know how much it is, right? And you tell me, right, once you see this, how much or like whether or not you think it's worth. You know what I'm saying? You becoming a fucking butcher, right, and having to actually like run your own shit, right, and have a business where you're going to be a butcher. General, could you run a business in, a decent community for $18.42 an hour?
I mean, it seems rough, but I do
Could you do this, General?
But I'm not sure. I mean, that is a pretty
The answer
low...
is fuck no.
Wait, hold on. But Pinoid, I live in a relatively nice area. Like I said, I'm one of these what do you call them? Bug men. I live in a pod, and actually, very near my apartment, there is a butcher, and they make money. And I've bought meat from them before, and they sell like cool meat, like elk and
You probably
venison.
ate dog, man.
And well, I mean, they might sell dog. I don't think they ever sell dog, but you know what? I'm not opposed to eating dog. But they seem to stay in business, even though it's a relatively expensive area. And they're butchers, and they bring in cool meats. I think most people go there to buy steak, but I go there to buy elk and deer, because those are the better meats. I don't know what the fuck the rest of the bug men are on about. But like they can stay in business, so like maybe this is the average salary in the United States, but hey, like even a nice butcher shop, in a relatively expensive place can survive. They've been here in my neighborhood for a few years. I would even advertise them right now if it wouldn't dox me.
Yeah, I feel you, right? Again, but like, a butcher shop as an in general thing, right, is not that profitable of a fucking business, right? And it's a problem when you're in a small, like, so right now you're in Washington, D.C., right, which is a really nice area, right? A lot of people who have a lot of money. What about a butcher shop in, say, like the West Virginia place where you go to vacation? How much do you think that motherfucker's going to make?
Actually, I'm not sure. To be fair, there's not a butcher shop in that town, which tells me that it's not economically viable. But like there are a lot of people that do hunting there. Like imagine
people eating there. Yeah, if people are hunting, bro, what you don't necessarily if that's like a home skill, hunting and butchering, then you're not gonna have a butcher shop.
Yeah, because they already
caters to the bourgeoisie office worker. And the issue is just those people are being pushed out by the.
All right, here I found it. Okay, all right. So, fucking a small town traditional butcher shop makes about $4,500 a month.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's like median income in Australian dollars. I mean, is that after tax, that figure?
No, that's before tax.
Oh, okay. Nah, you're pretty much incentivized to sell meth at this point.
I mean, actually, you might be able to.
You can make that. Meth. You can make that in a week, right there.
Well,
easy.
What about? What if we were to legalize drugs, and then we made drug dealing a legitimate profession? That might be a huge boon to the American economy, at least in the short term, before everyone gets so addicted that they don't want to work anymore. Temporarily speaking, that might be really good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is the fucking problem, right? So, if you want to open a butcher shop out here, bro, like I'll make this bigger so everybody can see if you're on your phone, right? Look, and I mean, $4,500 a month for a local butcher shop. This is the problem, General. And this is why, like, you have to plan this type of shit where it's like, you need, you know what I'm saying? Fucking you need to be able to go, we need food and meat. So therefore we need to have somebody who provides food and meat in this area.
I don't think that you're going to get me to say that we should do human-based central planning on the ecosystem that is the economy. You're not going to get me to say that, because although there might be like some pitfalls here and there, like maybe butchers don't get paid enough, and maybe that's true, and maybe there's ways to fix that, but I do believe that the less that humans try to control the ecosystem, the better the ecosystem will be for the average man.
You're not controlling it. What you're doing is
no, but you're planning it.
Like you're
which
not
is controlling it.
You're not controlling it. All you're doing is
you're
saying listen, would you? All right. So when you plan a town out, do you plan out a sewage treatment system?
Well, I mean, I guess you probably would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, so like, is that something that we feel like we just like put a suburb in and say fuck it, y'all figure out the sewers, or do we do that beforehand?
I don't know. How did ancient cities do it? I think that they built the houses first, and then they built the sewage plant later.
No, 100% before they build a house, they build a place to take a shit.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
yeah,
just
but
like
most people were
organised
taking
planning,
shits in
dude.
holes.
You
back
don't
then.
just like magically create a sewer system. Like this is like canals and irrigation for farming. It isn't like, oh, bro, I'm just gonna dig one ditch. You've got like 400 cunts all like, bro, we're gonna dig one long ditch. But you don't do
listen,
this in
Justin Kuhn is upset about something. I don't know what the fuck he's upset about.
husbandry.
Tell me
That's
in the thing,
animal
like,
breeding.
who's talking about husbandry and like didn't know what they're talking about. I'm not sure which one it is. I don't know which one of us he's mad at. I don't know.
It's probably
Tell me who
general
you're
because
mad
he
at
lives
and
in an
why, bro. You
apartment
gotta
and
let me
just-
know. Just gotta let
Yeah,
me
it's
know.
probably me. It is probably me. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, dog. I don't know. But like, real again,
He's the only
again,
person here that doesn't own animals.
yeah, like right. So like,
Hey, I
really-
own 2 cats. Okay, that's animal husbandry.
They're not
I own
animals,
2
but they're like
cats.
independent things that occasionally come in and be like, here's half a mutilated bird and where's my shit.
But they love pets, and I love them.
Also, I'm going to hang off your curtains at 3 o'clock in the morning and wake you up.
Yeah, they knock shit over, fuck over things, and they knock over dishes and shit, wake your ass up on some nonsense. Fucking annoying. But yeah, man. Again, so
Fantastic animal.
you're good. You're good, dog. You're good, right, Justin, bruh. Yeah, fucking just let me know like what it is that you want to like, why you want to correct what it is you say. And by the way, the link is in the motherfucking chat if you want to come in.
It is true though. General is an objective asshole, and I say this being an asshole myself.
That is offensive.
He's not an asshole. General's actually a really nice guy as a whole, right? But like the thing is that General doesn't understand. Like you're going to have to like sit here and actually like be a grown up and go, hey, you know what? If we want to set up like a town and not just like a suburb where we're going to have a nursery for like white children, what you need to do is you need to plan out things that you might need in that town, like police and fire departments, and oh, by the way, before you put all that in, you're going to have to put in lines for fire hydrants, right? there's a lot of things that go into like planning out a fucking town. And you have to be willing sometimes to go, well, we might need a storefront here so that we can, have somebody like open businesses.
Okay, so I mean? I'm more than willing to compromise. Maybe we do a bit of planning, right? But this idea of like a government centrally planned 15-minute city or whatever the hell I think at a certain point when you get to that level of scale, no, but that I can't.
They're spending money on dumb shit anyway. They might as well try to spend it on this.
I can't get behind that. There's no way I can get behind that. That seems silly.
Is it better for people to walk? Right, as in a general thing.
Yes.
Yo, Buck, what up, man? Buck. All right. Anyway, right. Yeah. So, like, you have.
Yeah, I'm here.
You here?
Y'all hear me?
What's going on, Buck? How you
I can
doing?
hear you. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me? I'm trying to get the audio on my end.
You're good. I can hear you.
No, you kind of sound like shit, but you're doing good.
I'm getting feedback. I can hear myself.
Well, listen, all right, there you should be.
Well, no, I'm hearing myself.
Dude, you gotta correct your audio. This is a you problem.
Yeah, I mean, like, I got my speakers on nothing, so like nobody else could hear anybody, but like you were kind of loud, so like fucking like I don't know. You should
Yeah,
be
let me.
say whatever you're gonna say. I don't care. Nobody else can hear you. You're not echoing here. Oh, did you turn the stream
Yeah,
off?
let me turn mine down.
Turn the stream off. Yeah, turn the stream off.
That'll help you out.
Pause the stream.
Bear with me. Well,
That way you can hear yourself. Because
yeah, let me do that. Here we are.
That
There
would
they
make
are.
sense. There we go.
That's the damn cell phone.
Buck has landed.
Yes, the maple has landed. No, bear with me. I'm in a lot of damn pain. I got a fucking autoimmune disease eating my ass up right now. Anyway, no, what I was trying to say is in World War II, we did that. We had mass collectivization for the war effort. You had people growing, like one person in the neighborhood would grow vegetables, one would raise the chickens, or some would do both, and they would pass it around through there. After World War II, we got out of that, and that knowledge kind of got lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then the thing about the husbandry is when you're trying to work with nature and you're trying to plan things out through nature, that's called husbandry. You're not trying to control nature. You're not trying to mess up nature. You're trying to work around it and work in it to benefit both you as well as nature so you can carry it down further, if that makes sense.
See, I think that this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. This seems like a smart dude. I like this dude.
You said the word nature. General's a big fan of nature, and he has a whole religious thing about nature.
In fact.
Well, I do camping. I do hunting. I've been in what you call nature for 25 years since I was a little kid. And nature left alone, nature's going to do what it's going to do, and it's neither for nor against you. Mm-hmm. And if you know what you're doing, you'll thrive in it. But if you don't know what you're doing, it'll kill you in 5 hours.
Fuck yeah, brother. Yes.
So bear with me. Like I said, I'm in a lot of pain right now. The reason why I haven't said much the past year or so, Tom, is I deteriorated really, really bad. They were doing all kinds of blood work on me and stuff, and I've been in a lot of stuff with that, so my thoughts get kind of out there.
You're all right.
I have something, if you don't mind, I'll read that I've been on that kind of ties into this, if you're willing, and
man,
y'all don't mind.
That's how I'm doing, bud.
Give me just a second. And I think General will like this. It's from a book I'm reading. It's from 1935.
Okay.
It's called The Pioneers of Plenty. I won't be very long. I'll just read a little bit of it. It's called Pioneers of Plenty, The Story of Kimmergy by Christy Borth. It says, all right, let's go to the first page. Okay. me. Okay. me. Do re mi sol la ti da. Anyway, chapter 1, Kimmergy. Although the word that heads this chapter is not yet in your dictionary, it already affects your life far more than you realize, because you're going to hear it much more about it in the future, and you should be introduced to it. However, because Kimmergy touches your life in so many points, and because it's less a new thing than a new way of looking at old things, it is not easy to introduce simply. Indeed, until only yesterday, I thought it could not be done simply at all. But then, by visiting the office of Dr. Harry Everett Barnard, the fatherly and white-bearded young-minded chemist who is the technical director of the National Farm Chemurgic Council, I found on his desk a simple introduction to Kimmergy. Cheese. 3 one-pound heaps of it. 1 pound is that familiar stuff called cottage cheese. If you were hungry, it is a finished product to you and the producer, a farm product with a ready market. If you have already ate all the cheese you want, that pound is a farm surplus. Unused, it becomes a loss to the producer and a waste to the community, a waste for which you must pay. You must pay for it because this pound of cheese, like everything man produces, is merely a bundle of labor, and labor must be paid for either by directly or indirectly. You cannot waste the cheese. If you bury it with the garbage, you're merely returning it to the place from whence it came in the first place, and from which it will return again and again through the chemical processes of the earth and the sun and the wind and the rain. The only thing you can waste is the labor represented by the buried cheese. Fix this in your mind here and now. The only thing you can waste is labor, and you cannot dodge payment for that waste. Plow that cheese under, and you must pay for the wasted labor indirectly through taxation or through increased cost of things you need or want. Export the cheese to a community whose people cannot afford to pay for the labor it represents, and you must pay the remainder of the cost, whether you call it a transaction charity or fool yourself by calling it export business. Unless you want to go on paying for wasted labor disguised as cottage cheese you cannot eat, you must consider that cheese not as a finished product, but as a raw material that can be turned into something you can use. That is, you must add more labor to increase its value. By adding this labor, however, you do not add to the cost. On the contrary, you reduce cost because you're now using the labor you would have wasted and paid for otherwise. Now, what can you do with cottage cheese you cannot eat? Consider the second pound of cheese on Barnard's desk. You would never recognize it as cheese, for it is a blue and gray knitted winter sports suit composed of skirt, sweater, and cap. It looks like wool, feels like wool, but is actually cottage cheese that's been put through a chemourgic process by dairy farmers and chemists and textile manufacturers who have cooperated to end the waste of labor. That is chemourgy. That's it. That's all I was going to read.
Okay.
I found that to be insightful personally. That was cool.
That's just the first page and a half. This is
that sounds like a good book. I want that book.
It's a hard book to find. It took me 2 years to find it.
What book is it?
It's called
put the chat.
hang on. Oh shit. Shit. Yeah, fuck you, son of a bitch. Sorry, I had an accident here.
You're all right. Go on. What's the book called?
It's called Pioneers of Plenty.
Pioneers of Plenty.
Yeah,
Christy, Christy, Borth, Borth.
Pioneers of Plenty by Christy
I
Borth.
put it in the chat.
You might be able to find it because it took me 2 years to find.
Yeah, is spot on there. That sounds like 1940s advertising for a war campaign. Yeah. Right in the front, that is.
This book, I've been reading on this book for 6 months since I've got it. I've been having to read it a little at a time. This thing has been blowing my freaking mind.
Yeah. Probably is out on the market, I'd say.
Well, you can buy it. You can buy it on Amazon.
How much is it? Because I bought mine on Thrift Books.
$30.
$30. That's too much. I waited for Thrift Books and I got mine for 10.
Probably a PDF floating around on the internet somewhere.
That's what I'm guessing. I'm hoping I can find a PDF of it.
I'll have a look see.
That's why I waited so long to get it because I didn't want to pay $30 for it. I got another one coming in where there's some people that he mentions, William J. Hale, the Farm Chemourgic. I'm waiting for that one to come in. I bit the bullet and paid the premium on that one because it's a reprint. I haven't got it in yet. I'm anxious to get that one because I want to read that one too.
What was the author name?
Christy, CHR.
Y Borth, BORTH.
There you go.
You know, I recognize something interesting that was said. It was if you overproduce, it costs you money. Like that's what it said, and that's a very interesting thing. If you have to produce exactly the correct amount. If you overproduce, it costs you money. It costs you more
if you don't use the surplus. If you don't resource the surplus. If you just take the surplus and don't change it into something else and use it as byproduct, they call it co-products, and you reuse that co-product into other manufacturing things like making the substitute for wool and stuff like that. That's where it starts costing you. But if you keep resourcing it, adding labor to it, you keep your costs down.
Put a link to the PDF in the motherfucking.
You found PDF? Congratulations.
Oh, that's based. I would just like to say that it does make sense that like as any other being in an ecosystem, if you don't use your resources correctly, then they will end up costing you, and that happens every single time. I mean, that's just facts.
General, look into system theory. System thinking.
Oh, I have. Dude, I have.
Okay, hold on. Bear with me, Bubba. Bear with me. Look into permaculture and then look into synergetics by Buckminster Fuller.
Okay, so synergetics I know, but what was the first one?
Permaculture.
Permaculture?
Perma, P-E-R-M-A, culture.
Permaculture. I will look that up. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I've been since I ain't been able to do a lot because I went from Tom. Tom could tell you I used to work for Walmart. I don't work for Walmart no more. I went to where I was running 8 miles a night to where I can barely walk with a cane. So I've been busy reading.
Reading is always the best way to go.
Well, I read all of Machiavelli, but no, hell no, I read all of Machiavelli. I read The Prince and Discourses on Livy and.
How'd it go? Enjoy it?
Oh, good. Oh, I've always been a fan of Machiavelli, but I finally got to sit down and actually read the rest of his stuff. I read The Prince back in high school, but
did you read The Art of War?
Not yet. That's one of the ones I've been listening to it on YouTube.
Yeah,
but it's good. No, it's good. Everything Machiavelli got it right, and it's funny. He's not as evil as people make him out to be.
No.
When you read Discourses on Livy, you find out the truth. And I didn't know this. You know, he got tortured.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew he got in prison, but I didn't know he was actually tortured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fucking, there's a lot of things they don't tell you.
Yep.
This is a really good copy of this fucking PDF, by the way.
It is? Oh, good. Oh, heck. Yeah, I've been like, me and Tom, we're both agrarians. I'm a Southern agrarian. Yeah. And the only difference, I think, I don't know.
Hillbilly versus redneck agrarian. That's the difference.
No, me and Tom get to the same end, but we get there different ways. The only difference and I think we both agree more than we disagree. Just we don't. I just didn't know at the time how to convey what I was thinking because I was busy working and I had so much things pulling at me and whatnot. Now I've had time to sit and think. I'm still trying to wrap my head around communitarianism myself because when I say I'm an individualist, I don't mean a liberal. I don't mean liberal like modern day liberals are not fucking liberals. They're goddamn progressive communists.
No, I mean they are liberals, right? They're extreme individuals. But like my idea is that like I think that like you should live in a community that loves you and that.
The problem here's my only problem with the community. Okay.
What's up?
Is that tribe's fine, well and good till they start coming into your house trying to make you couch out of them in your house. That's my only problem with communitarianism. What restrains that? Because understand, hear me out. In medieval thinking, when they were talking about the individual, it was about the individual family to preserve that family unit to keep your family pure. You understand what I'm saying, Tom?
Well, yeah, but that was a technological problem, right?
Well, no, it's not that. But even today, you still want to keep, like Tom, you want to keep your family name pure, right? You want to keep your descendants coming and going. You want to keep that lineage going. You understand what I'm saying?
Of course you do. Of course.
Right. But like the thing that I had, the problem that we have today is like they would have done what they're doing today if they had the technology to do it.
Well, and that's the thing. I know you don't. What if alt hist? I know you kind of got a. What's your take on him?
I watch him. He's a kid.
I understand he's a kid, but I look at the content, and I look at his sources. If you get a chance and you can get David Hackett Fisher or get the audio version of it and read Albion or listen to or read Albion Seed.
I've read it.
So you have? Okay, cool. I didn't know if you had or not. What do you think? What'd you think of it?
It's fascinating and it's amazing and it's a great piece of literature that breaks down things that you probably.
Now, I gotta ask because I can't remember. It's been a while since I went through it. Did he talk about the Italians any?
No.
He didn't. Okay.
Seeds only covered the English.
He only covered the English. Okay, yeah, because I'm Prussian. My family came through. We're not even. People say Anglos settled Texas. I hate to break it to you. Most of Texas was settled by Germans. You come down here into my region of Texas, like around Fredericksburg. You better know German. You better.
Fucking general.
What general say?
The general's the funniest motherfucker, bro. I swear to God. So the Germans actually settled the vast majority of the Midwest. Almost all of it. Right. And here's the Swedish settled the upper Midwest, which is
where I grew up, Tom, in McLennan County. You had Czech, Polak, Norwegian, German, what was the other one? Oh fuck. Swede, but there wasn't me Scots. There was people with a little bit in there. They came later. But the region of Texas I was in, and from Central Texas and Waco all the way down here to the Hill Country, Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg is the actual German colony because they fled Germany because of that 1848 war, and a lot of them saw it coming. So they fled in the 1840s. It's called look it up. It's called the Alviderzan.
Yeah.
And Prince Charles of Bronzeville, he came down here and started trying to do a German colony to get people out. And that's why they all came through there. And then the Polacks, the Czechs, and all them started kind of coming in. So there's parts of Texas, they all say, well, Texas is Spanish. You get into central Texas and the hill country, you better know fucking German.
Yeah, but General's not like a huge fan of the fucking Germans and shit.
Now we'll get over it. He young, he'll get over it.
I don't know if it will, but hey, you know, I mean, it is what it is.
I'm a 7th-generation Texan, so even though it's Prussian descent, that 7th generation don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, look, the Prussians are not the same exact thing as the Germans. I'm willing to make an exception.
I live in the town I grew up in was called Riesel. You can't get no more German than that fucking town. And I'm Prussian, so we always clashed. I always called all those kids in that town square-headed Dutchmen.
As well, you should have. I support you in that endeavor.
Here, look. Here's the book. I actually have it stretched out a little bit because it looks a little.
Oh, that is good. Oh, that's a damn good copy. Hell yeah, they did a good job on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, I put the link in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Fucking that way, like you guys all have it and shit. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I've got the hard copy, so y'all go ham.
Yeah.
It's a good book. I've been in it. I've got about 30 Post-it notes stuck in it so far, and I'm barely a quarter way into it.
You know, I actually Tom, he likes to read me books as like bedtime story while I'm going to sleep.
No, read to me, Daddy.
So he's gonna do this for me probably tonight, and I'm looking forward to it.
Right, listen, General has a problem with reading. Like he doesn't like to read. He wants to talk to people about things and get an understanding of it. Right? He thinks that's the way that you should learn.
He's an audio learner. You're an audio learner.
I am. That's true.
I have severe dyslexia, but I had 7 years of speech and cognitive therapy for it. So
yeah,
I had to learn it taught me how to cope.
Yeah.
But it's hard. There's times where I like, that's why it takes me so long to read sometimes, because I have to read it. And then I learned a long time ago, if I just sit and read, like people would sit there and just read forever, I can't do that. I'll read a chapter and then I'm done. And then I'll pick up another book and read another one and go on.
Yeah, you have to log into this website with Google, right? To log in with Google, and then you can borrow the book for an hour and just borrow for another hour, borrow for another, whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna I feel like this PDF's gonna be floating around somewhere.
You might try torrent, see what's on torrent.
Yeah, I'd like to get an audio copy of it. That'd be awesome. I have a buddy of mine. He has a bunch of like base books. He has a list of based ass books and shit. My boy Gio, and he gave me the fucking list. It's like stored on like a fucking cloud drive somewhere.
Oh, Tom, another one. I think I sent it to you the other day. If you get a chance, if you want to kind of know my way of thinking and what a Southerners kind of, because we kind of get to this, we and you get to the same end. We just get there a different freaking way. But I'll take my Who Owns America? A New Declaration of Independence came out the same time this other book came out, so it's in the mid-30s with that, and it's really good. I've read some of it. I've got to get a copy of my own to finish reading it, but it's really interesting because they're talking about a lot of the same shit we're talking about today.
You read Bernays, right? You read Bernays, right?
I read some of Bernays.
Your Propaganda is a really short read. It's really easy.
Which one do you recommend reading?
Propaganda. I have it on
Propaganda. Okay, well, because I had to do an in-depth study on Goebbels and shit and whatnot, and I had to do a little bit on Bernays, but it makes me want to gouge my fucking eyes out.
Yeah, listen, it's like I've been arguing the whole time today, like from the other perspective for General, you know what I mean? And like that way everybody can understand, like, because I run into people and they go like, shit, it's evil. And I'm like, it is, Tom. You have to understand their perspective.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, okay. When we talk about agrarianism, Tom, how far back in agrarianism have you looked back?
Jefferson.
Go back a little further. Read about the physiocrats.
Okay.
Because Jefferson, you understand, Jefferson and the agrarians of his day called the modern world we're living in. They saw it coming, and they were trying to warn everybody against it, because Jefferson hated wage earning, because their thought is if you had your own garden, your own place, your own way to produce yourself that takes care of your basic needs, and then you're not getting suckered in to being a wage earner. That way you get pulled into the company store. Because if you look at today, we're just a giant company store.
If only, actually, if only Jefferson had known how dark it would become.
Can you
Oh,
guys
read his later writings. If you read his letters later on, especially after he became president, his later letters toward the end, oh, he nailed it perfect.
just don't forget to send me those rusty submarines, guys. The Brownings that jammed were fantastic for the Emu War. The rusty submarines will be just as good, I imagine.
Hey, the Confederates came out with the first submarine.
I'm probably going to be wrong here, but I do recall reading about like that.
He believed that agriculture was the source of all wealth, and an agricultural product should be highly priced. Advocating an adherence to the supposed natural order of social institution, they also stress the necessity of free trade.
This is the donkey-based economy that Vermin Supreme's been going on about.
Yeah.
But it should be chickens because donkeys.
Now I'm trying to remember. Bear with me, Tom. I'm going to do something real quick.
In general, these are the type of things that like you should be checking into. Like you want to like do your nature god thing and like have these type of ideologies, bro. Like you should be checking into this type of shit.
What is your
probably not, but I do appreciate
what is
that.
your dwelling general? Is it actually an apartment or is it?
I swear to God, I live in an apartment in the city.
Jesus.
I know, I'm a bug man. I'm
do you have
straight
a
up bug man.
balcony area, like an outside little area, an enclave?
Well, most
A
of the
hole in the
apartments
wall
my
of the building?
here, but we don't have one of these units. We don't have a balcony.
No.
So you don't have any out. Jesus Christ.
Well, sometimes we open the windows. That's nice.
See, there's
Still
no
here. I'm just doing
outside, though.
some work. Sorry, guys. I'm on a
Forest Devil. Believe me, if I had any choice in the matter at all, I would.
It'd make
I
more
would not
sense
want to
living
live
in a
here.
van.
But my Taiwanese ladyboy very much likes, I guess, living either in
The sun
an
cannot touch
apartment
their
or
skin.
a tent next to Trader Joe's, whichever lore you want to partake in.
Every second the sun touches their skin, it reduces their value.
Yeah, I gave him
I
the last
understand
one.
this.
agrarianism. Let's see here. Types of agrarianism.
How high in the sky is the apartment? Is the next question.
How high?
It's pretty high up. It's 14 stories up. That's pretty good.
Damn, dude, that's not
Yeah.
good. You're sniffing everyone's farts up there.
Well, I mean, they do tend to rise up, yeah. So we do get a lot of farts.
That, and it's also
I'm gonna open.
it's also higher altitude, so lower air, so you're not getting air to the brain.
Yeah, that's
That was a
right.
bad joke.
is true.
That was a bad-
No, well, he's getting
Well, but-
exhaust gases to the brain. That's
I mean,
definitely
not
true.
as much as the ground level.
You know, like
More than I'm
the
getting.
ground level is where all the cars are. They're spewing out the CO2. Like actually
You're
being
higher up.
you're smoking a
no,
lot of
CO2
cannabis.
rises. Remember,
I mean, that is true. That is true. Like I will give you that.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. There's a lot of trade-offs. I mean, look, I don't want to live in the city, but you know, my significant other loves living in the city, so I guess it is what it is. You know,
It's just a shame.
I know, but you see, I love her, and you know what can I do? You know,
Give up.
let's see.
I could just, you know what?
actually, I could give up.
I do live on the 14th floor. It's not a long drop. If I really want to give up.
Hey, all I ask, General, is if you do swan dive, do us a favor, do a flip.
I will do a flip. If I do that, I will do a flip 100%.
You also have to make sure you yell "Free Palestine" on the way down, and then
I'll do a
Did y'all
triple
see that?
flip.
Did y'all
I'll do
see
a
that
triple flip and
asshole?
go, Free Palestine!
I did watch that footage. It was insane. That was like, bro, I didn't realize the clothing was that flammable, covered in kerosene. But yeah,
Oh, we lost Buck. Buck
We
was
lost
just
Buck.
here. Fuck.
Sorry.
Buck, we lost Buck.
If he comes back, I'll bring him back in. I'm reading about the physiocrats right now.
what have you discovered, Tom?
They're basically Ted Kaczynski.
Oh, that's based.
Do I get a cool week? That's my question.
A what?
You know the wig, like the nice wig you get to wear.
The wig, man. Listen, I'm
The wig, the hair.
Yeah, I don't, bro, like, yeah, but like they had like the wigs from back then. You know what I mean? Because they were French during like a time of like Louis V and shit, or Louis XIV.
I think we should bring that back.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm sitting here reading about it, right? Yeah, man. Listen, General, you need to fucking like read this shit over, bro, because it's fucking fascinating.
I think General's realization will happen somewhere between the 12th and 7th floor.
Oh. Yeah, so like, unlike the mercantilists, the physiocrats did not concern themselves with whether maximizing net product was a good idea. It did enhance the power of the sovereign, but did it produce had general happiness, did it improve general morality, and so forth. The friend of mankind, Marquis de Meru, declared that the true wealth of a nation is the population. Ergo, the greater the net product, the greater the sustainable and presumable happier population. Generally, though, the physiocrats focus on the fact that maximizing net profits was a natural thing to do, and anything that was natural, according to the spirit of the age, was a good thing to do. Like literally, like, oh, hold up, Buck's here, Rant's here. What up, Rant? What up, Buck?
Yeah, my damn internet took a shit.
All right, yo, Mikey, what up, man?
Yo, yo, this shit sounds fucking retarded, bro.
What sounds retarded?
I don't even know, bro. I just tuned in. It sounded retarded, bro. Just the name of it in general.
Listen, all things sound retarded when, like,
Yo, physiocrat, bro. What the fuck is that, bro?
I mean, listen, it's French.
Yo, I'm about to physiocrat ass, bro. All right.
Listen,
I'm not laughing at that. I'm not laughing
Yo,
at that. That's not
physiocrat. I'm like, yo, what the fuck you say, bro? You mean what you gonna do to me?
You gonna do to me? Yep. Oh.
You can't even walk around in public being a physiocrat, bro.
yo, I think it's not. So the
What about my mother? What about?
unlike many of their contemporaries, continue to view the state as a parasitical entity living off the economy and society, but not part of it.
Floyd?
Like, yo, literally, this is us.
Nah, bro, it's not me.
The first line on Wikipedia
That's
just
not
sounds
me.
like a bunch of dudes high on cocaine.
I told you, Tom, we get to the same end. There's different ways of getting there. Just
It's
Yo,
only
listen,
rules
bro.
that set the
Right
law
now, I'm
and-
sitting here reverse engineering the Guerrilla Scouts manual, okay?
Yo, listen,
oh shit.
it's only roles that set the laws of men in the way that permits the God-given laws of nature to bring the natural order about.
We're ruled by plants.
That sounds kind of based.
They
Like,
were
that's,
called
that's
Tom,
not
I figured out what we gotta do,
That
bro.
is
I really
not
did.
liberalism.
This dude
Yo,
smoked a bunch
listen.
of tobacco and we're like, yo.
Listen, bro. Fuck all these dudes on the internet that think they know what they're talking about, all right? We gotta create the Guerrilla Scouts and just get the next generation, because this one is fucked. They're done.
Yeah, we gotta raise
can't-
Spartans.
We can't fix the current fuckery, bro. They're already fucked. You know what I mean? Once you pass the age 7, bro, you're not gonna really progress past that as far as mental fucking, structure.
They regarded any attempt by the government to influence the economy against these natural forces as leading to imbalances, which would postpone the arrival of the natural state and keep the net product below what it would otherwise be. A general
so true.
laissez-faire policy and a single tax were the speediest, less distortionary, and less costly ways of arriving at a natural state. Bro, like, listen, these dudes knew some shit, bro. They thought about this.
Are we having fun, Tom?
Listen, this shit is fucking, this is basically like fucking Ted Kaczynski, like combined with.
You think he was the first one to come to that conclusion?
Yeah, listen, there's no
wasn't,
new
but
thing
also,
under the fucking sky.
we-
Nothing new under the sun.
Could
Is
we,
this the economic system in Tom Lanistan?
could we not call him Ted Kaczynski? That's a little bit too on the nose. We call him Uncle Ted here.
Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted.
Uncle Ted.
Uncle Ted. Yeah, I agree, Uncle Ted.
I'll just use Ted. That's all right.
Yeah, what's
Ted,
going on there,
Uncle
Mikey,
Ted,
man? Fucking, what's popping with you, buddy?
Yo,
What?
yo, listen.
What?
All right. Fucking up until age 7, bro, these are your formative operational years, bro. All right.
I agree.
After that, bro, you got motherfucking 11, okay, to like 16 years old, okay? And that's basically your setup. That's your formal operation level. All right, so you build basically like your core up until 7. And that shit that people could teach you anything up until 7, and you can't differentiate between reality and fantasy. So you actually will build it into your core if you taught it up until 7.
Well, I know I was reloading shotgun shells at 8 years old, and I could do 500 cases an hour, or 500 shells an
what
hour.
I'm saying is they try to indoctrinate the kids because the kids don't try to figure out if shit is true or false. They just receive information like a sponge, and that's it. It's in there. Okay.
Why don't
Now,
kids try to figure it
after
out?
that age, right? After 7, you start to basically like question shit, right? But you don't really have like a fucking pool of information to use to question that shit. So you're just questioning shit. It's like when you go into the rebellious mode at about.
Well, then your
after
hormones hit, your dick gets hard, and then you really lose your fucking mind.
But here's the thing. Once you get to about fucking 16 years old, right? Like once you're out of high school, basically, that's who you're basically gonna be, right?
Yeah.
Unless your ideological view of the world is challenged by some kind of massive event.
Nah, dude.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's true.
I've had
This
to
is how the
change-
CIA develops
had
a
to
profile
change
on a
my
person.
view.
They look at your childhood because they want to see what your core is made out of. Then they want to see like where the fuck you went to school for high.
So
I had to.
You there? Hello?
I had to change my view. Let's see. When I was like, I think when I was like 21, 22-ish, I had to change my view from being a socialist to being pro-Trump. That's when I was,
I was a libertarian until I grew up.
and then actually, I not that many years ago, maybe like 3 years ago, I had to start changing my views about science. And I'm 31, so I had to start changing my shit like when I was maybe 28, 29.
Once
So,
you are
like,
33,
I keep having to change my fucking
with
views. I
me?
keep being wrong. I keep being fucking wrong.
Hang on, Mike.
you guys paying attention? Once you're 33 years old, right? You're at like basically a solidified state. You're basically crystallized. And whatever the fuck mind state you're in at about 33, right? That's when your brain stops developing, stops challenging shit. That's just who you are, bro. Like boomers are just boomers. That's it.
Boomers a
Nothing that's
mentality,
gonna
not an
change that
age.
ever.
How do I
You
help?
understand?
How do I help myself?
Basically, you have to fucking challenge your worldview. You have to put yourself in like situations that are gonna fucking make
I've
you
been listening
question
to you
your
guys for long
reality.
enough. That's insane.
Yo, so like Mike, you know how like I broke you, right?
I know a surefire way to do that. Just walk into Harlem with a sign that says, "I hate black people." You'll get an education.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like yo, like so,
That's
I mean, you will learn
bachelor's
something.
degree.
You know what I mean? You will
I broke-
definitely
That'll
learn something.
challenge your.
I broke Mike's brain and like rewired him. I mean, like a couple of times, right? And like at current, I'm doing the same thing in general, right? And Mike has finally got like his shit on proper where he's supposed to be. Like for a minute, he got lost and like he did a bunch of mushrooms and ended up as a black Hebrew Israelite, right?
No,
That's a joke, right? That's a joke.
No, it's not. A joke.
no. Go look at the Moorish Science Temple. You will be fucking entertained. Let me tell you.
No, yeah. Mike ended up as an Italian black Hebrew Israelite for like 6 months.
Base.
Right?
That's base. That's super base.
It was my own version, though. Like it wasn't.
No, it was.
Oh yeah, he had it down, man. He had it down pat, man.
What the
It was my own version.
It actually made a lot of sense. Still does in some ways.
Yeah,
It
I-
still does in
this-
some ways.
This whole idea that like the mind crystallizes and that you can't like I don't know like change after the age of 33 or whatever the fuck you said. I don't believe in that. I
Listen,
think that the
You're
mind
looking at
continues to be very
yourself, and you
adaptive.
might think that you're like some kind of special fucking
No,
abnormality.
I'm not
but
saying I'm special. I'm saying
I'm talking
I've
like,
seen-
yo,
I've
this
seen
is the
people older than me
reality of
change.
how the fucking profiles are built, right?
Dude, I've even
Psychologically
seen
for people.
Tom change, and he's a stubborn motherfucker.
Now, not everybody is gonna fucking work into this. You know what I mean? This is just a general idea, right? You can assume that fucking somebody that grew up, right, like where I grew up, is gonna be a rough motherfucker. You can just assume this.
Yeah.
Why? Because the formative years are spent in that environment.
Exactly. I hate.
And it's like certain things you can assume, you know what I mean? Just based on these things. And now my point was that, you know, look, at the end of the day, you might be able to come out.
Oh,
I don't know.
Coming to Tokyo?
He disappeared for a minute. So
well,
you can deprogram a motherfucker though. You can.
It takes time, but you can do it.
Yeah, listen, and I have deprogrammed a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean,
if,
to be
if
fair,
the kid's got
like,
the
there's-
tools there to do
Hello?
it from the
There's
get-go,
basically-
you can do it. Yeah,
Uh,
you drop
Yo,
the
what I
magic.
was saying was, you can
there you go.
deprogram a motherfucker, right? But it doesn't. See, you might be able to deprogram one layer, right? See, like you've helped me out a few times, right, in my misdirection, right? But at the same time, you couldn't deprogram me for shit that I didn't fall into yet, right? And that was the new shit. And then you had to like fix whatever the fuck that was, right, with a different direction. Right. But I mean, at the same time, it wasn't just Tom's advice. You know, I mean, it was a lot of different things, spiritual growth, studying. Because, like, it wouldn't have mattered what you said to me unless I found the fucking evidence I needed to understand what was corrupted and what wasn't. You feel me?
Like,
So there's a lot more to it.
Tom
But
said
yeah,
it's
you
such a
threw
way to
me in
make you
different
think.
directions.
I don't
Tom threw it out there to where you would
I-
think and you would
I
challenge
don't-
it.
I don't see
But, yo,
how
here's
it-
the
I
thing.
don't see
I'm a
how
person-
it would be possible to
I'm a person who
deprogram
will challenge my own
a,
fucking stance
a-
on reality. Most
like,
Of
people
course,
won't.
I do the same
Let's
thing, Mike. I do
say-
the same thing.
Most
let's say
people
that
won't.
let's say
I
that
know
you
what
had
exceptions,
a,
not the rule.
Let's say that you had like a 50 or
Yo, who's the
60-year-old,
dumbass that won't shut the fuck up?
Hey, that's me, buddy. Hey, no, but let's say
Smoke
that you
another,
did
by
have-
God.
Yo, you
let's say
gotta
that you
talk to
let's say that you did have like a 50 or 60-year-old lefty. I can't see a single way to deprogram like a 50 or 60-year-old lefty. I
I'm
think
saying,
at
it's
that point it's a
crystallized.
lost cause. You can't deprogram that. That's too.
Can
far
I
gone.
interject? Can I
Yeah,
interject?
go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Yeah.
My dad was 50 years old when reality slapped him like a 2x4, and he went from a psychopathic, raging fuckboy asshole into a damn fine man.
But
And
what
if-
caused
hold
it
on.
to happen? It was a trauma. There was a massive trauma.
Yeah, bro.
Well, it was trauma that happened to him 30 years ago that finally hit him because he was 50 and something happened and it just boom, it happened.
Well, something happened to challenge his worldview.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my point, right? Look, I'm not saying we can't wake a motherfucker up here and there, right? But I'm looking towards the future, right? And right now I'm at the point where I'm seeing that I need to find people who are equally or fucking, at least worthy of standing next to me, right? And I'm going to rewrite the Guerrilla
What's
Scouts.
worthy?
And, it's about raising the next generation of our offspring and people with like-minded offspring into being the Guerrilla Scouts that'll be able to survive in the situation that they're going to be in the future. And it's all about, like building community and God and America and all these things. It's based on the Boy Scouts, except it's going to be the Guerrilla Scouts because the Boy Scouts is a bunch of bitch asses.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Get the 1910 Boy Scout manual. That's really based.
I'm
I
basing it on the 1911 Boy Scouts manual.
Very nice.
I believe that actually we should do something similar when it comes to our faith and our belief. I think that
It's like, first page
Christian-
of the Guerrilla Scouts, right? Any
The Christian
half of
God.
fag Guerrilla Scout leader acting like a homo is gonna get strung up from a tree.
Sure, that
You know what I'm
saying?
but I
And just that
personally-
being said, you will feel comfortable with your kid being a Guerrilla Scout, knowing that we don't play with that homo chester molester ass
Of course,
motherfucker shit.
that
We'll
makes sense.
string them
But
up
what
from
I-
a tree.
What I would say
It's
is
in
that
the rule book. It's page
do
1.
I do believe.
You know what I
that
mean?
The
Pedophiles get hung from
the
trees.
Christian God,
Guerrilla
the Christian God
Scouts,
is actually,
101, bro.
The Christian God has led us astray, unfortunately. And what we need to do is actually, perhaps we need to understand that the Christian God has led us astray. And
What are you
perhaps
defining as a Christian? Let me hold up. Let me ask you.
Better version of God that exists, and that's actually what we really should be focused on. Because yes, we can build the Guerrilla Scouts and we can be all cool and we can form
sounds like
tribes,
a
but
Protestant
we have to
organization.
have an idea about what we want to build. And we
Listen,
have to
listen,
remember
it's
when
a
I
great
built
plan. Look, listen,
You know?
pay attention,
We gotta
okay?
understand what
Listen,
our God's
Pay attention. We have a problem in this country with bitch assness.
Perhaps
Okay, we're gonna solve this by mixing Boy Scouts with Andrew Tate lessons. Okay, and it's gonna solve the bitch assness of the Guerrilla Scouts.
You sound a little bit too confident. You should not
Shut
be so
the fuck
confident in
up,
this
Donnie.
world.
You sound like a bitch. All right. I think you're just mad because pedophiles get hung
Are you doing your own
on page 1.
Are you doing
I think that was the
the
fucking deal breaker for you, right?
Are you working on the handbook publication? Like the
I think he's just
manual?
mad.
Rant, you're being offensive, man.
Listen, Guerrilla Scouts is going to be doing services to society. First of all, we'll be baiting the pedophiles in, and then once they see page 1, they're going to go, uh-oh, they're going to run for the door. You ain't getting out. We got fucking Rambo on deck. He's going to fucking hang you up from a tree and cook you like a chicken. I'm just saying.
Based.
Based.
Floyd spent a day in a hole with a Guerrilla Scout. He's never been the same since.
I want the film, damn it.
It's been filmed. It's out there. I don't know what episode it's in. I think it's episode 10.
I think it is 10, bro. Like, fucking, yeah, he literally, like, he was in a hole, you know, been getting chased around by a Guerrilla Scout and shit. Like, it was, you know, it was fucking crazy.
He's never been the same ever since that day.
Ever. And then he ended up getting strung up by a tree and, like, fucking, like, pawed at by a jaguar. Like, that shit happens sometimes, you know, like, you know, Floyd was planning on cooking him, or fucking Rambo was planning on cooking Floyd. It is what it is. It happens, you know.
I've been face to face with a mountain lion. That was a unique fucking experience, let me tell you.
I was going through the book, though. I think we're going to have to replace, like, some of the things. There was, like, I don't know, something faggy in there, like fucking knitting or some shit. We'll replace that with how to, like, assemble a block.
No, you need to know knitting because you got to stitch your Kevlar back when you get bullet holes and shit and scars your armor.
Well, there's something we got to replace that was faggy in there. We're going to replace it with how to assemble and disassemble a Glock.
All right. What'd you say, General?
It'll be a badge.
I was just saying, I think I realized something really cool about humanity, right?
What?
So like I've seen this throughout Discord, you know, like I'm not saying this is related here, but I was just thinking about this. I've seen this throughout Discord, right? Sometimes like on Discord, you know, you'll have like some people and they're like talking and they're having a cool conversation, and then like some will pop in, right? And
who is this talking right now? I can't see the thing moving.
Yeah, I know.
The voice is so beta low.
I know that's. Wait, is it low? Should I?
It's so beta low that it's like a mouse.
Up to like 200. I tried.
Oh man, here. Let me try to fix that real quick.
It's like you're talking from your vagina.
Is that better? Is this better right now?
Not at all.
Fuck.
Might be.
Are you talking into the microphone?
I am. I'm talking into the microphone right now. You can't hear me that well?
It's not very good.
Shit.
Maybe your microphone has semen encrusted into it and it's blocking the audio signal.
That is possible. That is possible. I usually have pretty decent audio in Discord. I don't know why it's not working here. Okay, what about this? Is that better?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Well, now I forgot. Now I gotta fucking work on my...
All right, cool. So we're gonna have a merit badge for being able to assemble a Glock and being able to.
So I remember what I was talking about, right? So here's the thing, right?
Son of a bitch.
When it, what I found on Discord, this has nothing to do with what's happening here, by the way. But what I've seen on Discord is you'll have people, and sometimes they're like really confident, and it's because they know what they're talking about, you know, and they come on confident. And they say, hey, I believe this, and it actually produces like, you know, better conversation, right? And that's a cool thing on Discord. But sometimes other people hop on and they're absolute dumb fucks, but they're really confident for unknown reasons. And they hop on and they go, yo, fuck you, and they don't contribute anything to the conversation, but they have enough confidence that it's like it's difficult to, you know, like bring them down, and that's like a pattern that I've noticed on Discord.
I don't have these problems. I think this is a
you're great,
motherfucker problem.
You're fucking great. I'm just saying I've noticed this on Discord as a general thing because Discord is filled with autists, you know, as you know. So it's like it's very difficult to like, you know, deal with autists. Yeah, we gotta read collectively. That's really important. but I guess Tom is bringing up the I guess the his cartoon.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
listen, like, you're good. Speak, bro. It's cool. I got
It's
it.
great. It's a great
I have it
cartoon.
muted.
But yeah,
Hey,
no, I
look,
mean
Bill
it's just
Meade.
it's one of
Hey,
those
Tom, you
things.
got Bill Meade, right? He's down in Texas with the meth bitches.
Yeah, listen, he had to go get like fucking he had to go get fentanyl, you know what I mean, to bring back. You know, he's going through
Well, hey, man, went through Tejas. He's in the desert now with the super Mormons.
You gotta go see
Listen, the
that.
Guerrilla Scouts is an important project.
Now with the,
Dude, I
I
support you.
support
We
it.
should have Guerrilla Scouts.
Mike, the first sentence needs to be rule 1: don't be a bitch.
It is. Well, that's after the pedophiles get hung from
No,
trees.
no.
But
Well, okay, yeah. Well, I'll make that number 2. Yeah, I'll concede.
like, we're gonna have an instructional diagram on how to hang the pedophile and what kind of knot you got to use to tie it to make sure they don't
That,
get
and then
away.
can we get Dan Deerdorf to explain why the geometry has to be at a certain angle?
Well, if you wanted to hang someone, you would just you would tie a traditional noose, right? You don't need like a special.
Well, how many
knot
knots
to
does a traditional
hang a
noose
pedophile.
have?
Yeah, I mean standard noose knot. I know how to tie a noose knot.
Well, these are things that Guerrilla Scouts need to know how to do, like how to deploy
Well,
a
good
knife
for
really
fish
quick
hooks,
to
too.
fend off. You know what I mean? A kidnapper. You know what I mean?
Let's see here. What's he got going on here? Oh, the freebasers. Oh, look, Richard Pryor.
I'm just saying, yo, this is
You need to put Richard
it's-
Pryor in here. You need to
Yo,
This
Guerrilla
is-
Scouts
oh,
is
there he
not
is.
just going to be for kids, all right? It's going to be for grown men because grown men are becoming bitch asses in America, and they need Guerrilla Scouts also. You know what I mean? We're going to have an MMA merit badge, different things. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You got to be able to sharpen a knife.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I like your idea of the Guerrilla Scouts. It sounds awesome.
You
That
gotta
is
be able,
simple.
you know,
Like,
like
similar.
this- we're gonna have also badges for like you have to be able to roll a cigarette.
Badges. We don't need no stinking badges.
You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
mean,
I had to roll my
have
dad's.
a
I had to roll my
course.
dad's cigarettes for him.
You know,
Shut
Also, how to
uh,
brew your own beer. Right?
There's an issue with a lot of construction of tribes, and it's that when you want to build a tribe out of nothing, you have no elders, which means that the tribe doesn't have wisdom, which means the tribe usually fails. You need to have elders in your tribe to give wisdom. Otherwise, you can't have a tribe. It's that
Well,
that's the
that's-
whole human
That's
thing.
what we're doing. We're taking the wisdom
Oh my
of
God,
the Boy
Tom, this
Scouts of
fucking cartoon.
America. Because I'm going to be honest, the original Boy Scouts of America, right? Those were strong men that came out of there, bro, and they built a pretty strong system that we destroyed, or actually the boomers destroyed. But
Give me a
anyway,
second,
we
Mike.
inherited it, and it's been all confuculated. Like, they basically inverted everything we had,
I'm
and
gonna
you get a
copy
piece
that
of
word.
shit.
That's a great word. Confuculated.
Confuculated.
What I'm
That's a
saying is
good
they
phrase.
inverted everything that we had in America, right? And then what happened was Boy Scouts became gay, and then dudes started cutting their dicks off. You see how that went?
Well, the whole
So
point
was it
to-
really
Yeah.
was it really Boy Scouts that was gay, or was it gay to be on the corner, right? You know what I'm saying? Smoking doinks.
Well, it was probably the government that was gay that was trying to spread more homosexuality to anyone.
All right,
who could be
listen.
gay.
All right,
The
listen.
end goal was
the
not
people-
homosexuality.
the
The
people
end
that-
goal was pedophilia.
Listen, the problem is that the people that ended up running the Boy Scouts
Why not
was gay.
homosexual pedophilia?
Right.
That's the best
But
kind
look,
I hear.
this has to be a thing, right? You have to make sure that they're not gay when they join the Guerrilla Scouts. That's a disqualifier. You have to not be gay.
So you gotta show them a dick, and then if they want to suck it, then they're not allowed in.
Now, listen, it's pretty easy to you know what I'm saying, figure it out.
How do you figure it out?
Listen, I don't really know how to get into the explanation, but like
Yeah,
if
you
you're
do an
around,
autopsy on a fucking needle.
it's like you know when you could just tell that someone's just not, you know what I mean, one of the dudes. You know what I mean? They just ain't acting right. They got to get out of the Guerrilla Scouts. They can't be in.
You
It's
know,
against the
okay,
rules.
here's the thing, right? A lot of people don't know this, but actually, Pinoid is a flaming homosexual, and like most people, they don't realize that he's a gay man, but he plays it off really well. You know, like you didn't even know that. So like, how are you gonna
You know
how are
what?
do that?
You wouldn't be a good Guerrilla Scout because you have no honor. All right,
I have no honor.
no honor.
No shit.
Honors killed millions of people. Hasn't saved a single one.
We're not trying to save people, okay? We're trying to fix the
being-
We're
problem.
trying to kill people here.
I'm being a smart ass. Deal with me.
Listen, we gotta fix the problem. The country's in shit, and the only solution is Jesus and Guerrilla Scouts. I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm not
Jesus
100% that like
and
Jesus is the
Like, Jesus needs to come down and fucking help us out, but yo, in the meantime, Guerrilla Scouts is gonna help build a better future. That's not gonna be a bunch of bitch ass motherfuckers that don't know how to do anything. They're gonna know how
Oh,
to do
God.
fucking everything, bro.
oh God, Helldivers 2. We're super gorillas. I just had a flash of all that
You know,
propaganda.
look, the point is, all right, that Boy Scouts is soft. Guerrilla Scouts is the opposite of that.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
right.
You basically want to take ROTC and the Boy Scouts, the old Boy Scouts, the true Boy Scouts, put them together with the paramilitary type training and whatnot and survival training. Had the same idea. We're good to go.
Like, yeah.
Basically Spartans. We're basically wanting to build Spartans out of the next generation. Not queer Spartans. I'm talking about the
Okay,
Halo
okay.
Spartans.
I mean, yo, the
can I ask-
original
can-
Boy
can I-
Scouts
can I ask
has
the-
a section
the
that says
following
that you
question?
gotta believe in God. All right? I'm just saying.
I think that actually, if you look at the difference between the Spartans and the Athenians, right? Who out of the two was more right wing? I think most people would say the Spartans, but I think that actually the Athenians were more right wing than the Spartans. I think that the Spartans were a whole bunch of fucking collectivist commie motherfuckers. All right, I don't look to the Spartans for how to live my life. I would rather look to the Athenians.
Fuck
Dude,
up,
this is fact.
pussy.
The Athenian. Look, if you wanna look to a whole bunch of
Listen, bro, if you fucking sit there in the
eugenicist
days of the Spartans,
Marxists,
all right,
then you can look
you
to
would
the,
get
to the
fingered.
Spartans.
You better calm
but
down.
The Athenians were actually way more right wing, way more individual.
Bro, you don't
they
know
weren't
nothing,
about collectivism.
right?
They weren't about eugenics. They were the left wing. The Spartans
Look,
were the left
Greeks
wing.
were
I
gay
believe
as hell,
this shit,
all right?
bro.
They were the
I mean, they
original
were all
Obamas,
gay.
but
they were all
were
gay. But
fucking
out
tough.
of the ones that were a little bit less gay, it was the
They
Athenians,
were mad
not the
gay,
Spartans.
bro, all right? They were all mad gay.
Bro, you gotta understand. You gotta understand.
No, this is historical
You don't.
fucking fact.
You
Yo,
don't want to.
there
You
was
don't
a
want to
point in
take
time where
after
these
gay
motherfuckers
culture.
would just all go in the
'Cause you-
fucking thing, bro, to work
'cause you
out
wanna
in the
take after the
gymnasium
Spartans,
and just
and the
be
Spartans
ass
were
naked
gay.
wrestling and shit. That was just normal in fucking
If you
Greece,
base your
alright?
shit off the Spartans, then you're gonna become gay.
Bro,
Yeah,
listen,
that's
they
facts,
were
bro.
mad
That's
gay,
facts.
all right, but they were
Yeah.
tough as shit.
Okay,
I'm
they were
just saying.
tough, but they were tough and gay. Do you want to be? Do you want to be tough
All
and
right,
gay?
I make a look. I'll make an addition to the fucking rule book of the Guerrilla Scouts. You can only be gay if you're an ancient Spartan. Other than that, you're out.
Ah, okay, okay, that's a good exception. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I can accept that.
Chaos.
All right.
I love it.
You know, I wouldn't
You know
have
why
such
they were gay?
problems,
'Cause they
like,
had honor,
homosexuals
all right? They
if,
fought
like,
a
if they
million
showed up in,
Persians
like, a
to the
fucking
death.
helmet, right? If like they showed up in a helmet with like, I mean, like a big fucking red thing on top, like all jacked with a fucking spear and a sword in their side, I wouldn't have as much problem with the homosexuals. Just keep it in the buck.
Hey, if I want someone covered my ass, I want them to think it looks good.
I mean, like, if you imagine, like, if every gay walking around had a shield and a sword and a fucking spear, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think there would be any gay violence. Like, you know what I mean?
Armed gays don't get bashed. Armed
No,
Jews
that's what
don't get. Armed Jews don't get burned.
It's
would
true, bro.
respect them
Like,
more.
if you're gay, bro, and you have a giant sword and a shield, I'll probably think twice about, you know what I'm saying, trying to throw a rock at you or something.
Listen, I'd respect them more, just as an in general thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's the problem I always have with gays is like they try to act like broads, and I'm like, you're not a broad. Stop it. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
smell
that
like-
was my biggest problem is that they're also hypocrites because they claim to like dudes, but then they want to be with dudes that look like women. You know what I mean? It's like if you're really gay, you should want a lumberjack.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
kinda where it's at,
If you're really gay, you should be
Hey.
a lumberjack who likes lumberjacks
or like a fireman who likes lumberjacks.
because everything else is just confusion and fucking
Mental fucking illness.
astrazine in the water making people think that they're gay.
Yo, it's like I'll be real, man. Like the other day, I was on Discord, right? I'm hanging out in this fucking VC, and you know, I'm talking to dudes, and some dude comes in and he starts talking, and he goes, he's like, yeah, I was a Marine, right? And I'm like, you're from California, ain't you? Because how'd you know? I'm like, listen, it's not that hard to pick y'all the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like, like California is so gay that they've adopted the.
Oh, I
you know
remember
what?
that guy.
You know what's
I remember
fucked
that
up
guy.
though, bro? Here's the reality, right? I'm almost positive that a lot of these people that claim to be gay, I don't think they're actually gay, but I think they got
They were
hormone
told.
sabotaged.
I don't
Okay?
even think it's that. I think it's the thing. Hormones part of it, but I think the rest of it is they got told at an early age and then been gaslit into
No,
thinking they
bro,
are.
look, that was just to like reinforce the fucking, because like you
Well-
got to make them feel like it's okay the way that they feel from the hormones. You know what I mean?
Well, hold
But what
on,
I'm saying
hold on.
is, I don't actually think it's a real like thing.
Agreed.
You know what I
I
mean?
agree with you. We were at the same end. We just got there differently.
What I'm saying is that like anybody could find, like there's people that do all kinds of weird shit sexually, fuck cars, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's people that
tree-
like,
Tree fuckers and all that shit.
there's all kinds of weird shit, and people get
Got
turned
wood.
on by all kinds of perversions. And so, you know what I mean? Like I could understand the perversion aspect, but what I'm saying is
You know,
that
I
the
actually
majority
wear a
of people
fursuit.
that are experiencing this on a whole and basing their life on it.
Hold on. We got a furry in here. Hold the fuck
No,
on.
no. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with wearing a fursuit, right? Like
What I'm
that's
saying
base.
is,
Okay, hold on. No, hold on. What type of fursuit is it? I'm curious. I'm not gonna bash you.
Well, it's a tiger, the apex
Okay.
predator. You know.
Okay,
so
no,
that's-
hold on,
that's
hold
pretty
on, hold
cool.
on.
That's pretty
Now-
cool to wear a fursuit.
Hold on, brother. Hold on.
yo, are you
Well,
guys
that-
are you guys awake here, bro? Look, what I'm trying to say is that statistically, we've always had a certain percentage of gay people on the planet, and now
Of
it's at
course,
an
you're about
all-time high.
2%.
And what
It's
I'm
two-
saying
yeah.
is, it was always like 5%, bro, but less. You know what I mean?
Well,
that was
I'm
a
not.
total.
I'm not gay. I just.
So what
wear-
I'm
I
trying
like
to
wear
say
a
is that they're
fursuit, that's
putting
all. I like to wear a
chemicals in the
tiger
food and
fursuit.
water and spraying shit
Um,
on people,
My
right? To
hero,
literally turn people gay.
do you know what Frosted Flakes are? You know the tiger that goes.
Oh yeah,
they're
Tony the
great.
Tiger.
Frosted,
They're-
yeah,
it's
Tony.
glyphosate,
Tony the
bro.
Tiger is my hero. Is
Okay.
basically my position.
Now, do yourself
Yeah.
a favor, and I want you to film this for me.
But yo, they just found out that
that.
Frosted Flakes has endocrine disrupting fucking shit. That's chemicals
Well,
that fucks
would
up your
kind
hormones.
of explain what I am because I do wear like
Hold
a
on.
tiger fursuit because I
It
ate a lot of
explains
Frosted
why
Flakes.
you're a faggot furry. Of
But no,
course.
no, I'm not gay. No, I'm not gay.
Oh, you ain't gay
Um,
yet, but you almost there.
Well, maybe one day I can achieve that. But
You keep going down that road, bro. You'll be gayer than Obama. All right?
no,
You
no,
calm down.
look. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I am straight. I'm what you would call, I guess, an incel. I haven't had sex in the last decade, but
You know what they call that? It's not called an incel. It's called a loser.
No, but I have had sex
It's just the very end of a
previously.
gut.
Previous to
Y'all just want to make up fucking fancy words for stupid shit. Yo.
no. Look,
It's not
okay,
incel,
look,
it's
actually-
loser.
No,
It's not
look,
minor
no,
attracted
but
a
I-
person. It's
but I-
hanging from a
but
tree
I-
ornament.
No,
Okay.
but
Dang.
I have had sex before.
Limited.
I had sex before I put on the fursuit. It turns out that actually I've been wearing the fursuit for the past decade and I haven't had sex since then.
Well, yeah,
because,
why?
society,
Why don't you-
Because
look,
society
look.
is against me. Okay,
Why
it
don't
should
you have
it
sex?
should be okay. It should be okay to wear a tiger fursuit, but society is against me.
Why?
and
Why?
it's- and
Why
it's
are you?
hurtful
Hold
and
on.
it's
Hold on.
hateful.
Listen.
Okay.
What you need to
Um,
understand is that people
and
in
it's- and it's
fursuits
messed
are
up.
some of the most depraved people.
I'm
right,
not that. I'm not
in
that
the
depraved.
world.
I'm not.
What
that
I'm
depraved.
saying is that if you wanted to have
That's
sex
pretty
as a
depraved.
person in a fursuit, it's not hard. There's
Well-
plenty of people out there that are fucking psychopaths that wear fursuits and go to like
Okay.
rave
Okay, can
parties and take ecstasy
can
and do all kinds of weird
Okay,
shit.
can I put this out there? Okay, because I'm kind of an interesting case, right? I am a furry, and I'm a tiger type of furry, and my furrydom is kind of connected to Frosted Flakes.
You're a retard.
But no, I'm not a retard.
No,
Here's
you're
the
a
thing.
retard.
No, I'm not a retard. Here's the
No,
thing.
you
right?
are.
I'm not
You're
a
fucking
retard.
retarded.
Okay, here's
You're
the
not
thing.
a fucking furry,
Um,
bro.
I am.
Y'all are talking about car sex.
This is imagination land. You're a grown ass fucking man, bro.
No,
this world
no,
is
no,
in fucking
there's-
trouble.
okay,
You need
okay.
to wake up and stop trying to be a
Tony,
fucking tiger.
okay,
Okay?
look, Tony the
No,
Tiger
I don't want to
is-
look.
Tony
I
the
don't
Tiger-
want to look. I
Tony
don't
the Tiger
care.
is my,
I don't
is my
care.
spirit
Jeep
animal.
fucking
I don't
analogy?
care.
But here's the
So
thing.
this is the problem with society.
Here's
You
the
think
thing
I
you're
have
not
to
understanding.
indulge in
Oh,
your
God.
insanity, bro.
Here's the
That's
thing you're
not
not
how it
understanding.
works. All right?
I am also a Mormon, right? So
No,
I
you're not
want
a
to.
Mormon.
I am actually.
No, you're a moron.
So the
You said
goal-
moron
They got
wrong.
furries in
No,
my ears,
Mormon.
deep
I'm a
fucking-
No, you're not a Mormon. You're a
I
moron.
am. I want to stay celibate until I can find another tigerkin.
But you're not
okay?
You're a
celibate, you're
moron
on
tiger.
sex.
What is wrong with trying to stay celibate until
Bro,
I can
you're
find another
moron-
tigerkin?
you're moron the
You
tiger,
this,
bro.
Dumbass.
You're imposing your values on me.
Bro,
right?
do you
And I
believe
feel like
in the
that's kind of messed
Bible?
up.
Do you
No,
believe
this
in
is-
the Bible?
I mean, not quite your. I believe in the trilogy of the Bible.
Do you
The-
believe in the Holy Bible?
But I mean, yeah, but
The
there's
Word
a,
of God.
there's a third.
Okay,
There's a third
so-
Bible.
All
that
right,
you're not-
I have the Book of Mormon too, but you believe in the first one, right?
I believe in all of them.
Okay, so here's the thing: if you read
Yeah.
the first one, the first furry, right,
Mhm,
was
yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Well, he might have been the
about that
first,
for
but
a
the
moment.
second I think was actually Jesus Christ himself.
No,
So-
no, stop,
No, I mean that's based off.
bro.
of
I'll
historical,
punch you in the face, bro. You better shut
Well,
the
you're
fuck
you're
up.
you're
all
not
right?
here to punch me in the face. This is the
I'll
internet.
punch you in
unfortunately.
your fur face. All right,
Well, please don't do that, okay? Because you might damage my helmet.
bro. I'll fucking shit on your helmet.
No, you shit in the helmet. You shit in the helmet.
Don't shit in my helmet. Do
I'll
not shit in my
fucking
helmet.
shit in
You
the helmet.
better not.
bro.
I'll be really upset if you do that.
Not only will I shit in the helmet, all right, but I'll smush bong resin in it, and that smell never comes out.
Oh God, that's horrible.
that's a really harsh smell, bro. That's
Yeah.
really mean that you do that to your fellow
I'm-
man.
I'll
I'm
do
a
it.
fellow Christian, bro. I'm a fellow Christian. I'm a fellow
Bro,
furry.
I don't give a
You're
fuck.
I know that we're
Mormons are
both Christian
Christians.
furries. Like, why the
Mormons
fuck
are not
would you?
Christians.
Yo, fursuits is idolatry, all right? That shit is fucking haram, bro.
I just like
and I
to dress
must
up
put
like
it
Tony
down.
the Tiger. Like, what's wrong with that?
Look, I gotta
Tell me
put it
what's wrong
down,
with
bro.
that.
It's fucking idolatry and it's haram.
He's a really cool guy, and I just want to be
Oh
like him.
God,
Listen, you are a furfidel, okay?
Furfidel. That's pretty
Furfidel.
good.
Yeah, bro.
I haven't heard that one before.
fucking yo, tiger meat isn't even clean to eat, all right?
Gotta look at the
you're
knees
good at
on
making
that
up
one.
words.
Oh,
Yo, Joseph Smith is rolling around in his Masonic coffin right now, okay?
No, actually, I have two.
how did Joseph Smith
yo,
die? He got
Mormonism
gunned down in a
is-
jail cell.
Yo, Mormonism is literally
Okay.
Luciferianism.
No,
Are
here's
you
the thing.
aware of that?
Here's the thing. I actually, while I might be an incel, I have waifus. I have multiple waifus. I have two waifus. Okay.
Them boys
Is
don't count.
it your left hand and your right
Jo-
hand that doesn't count as wife?
Joseph Smith would approve of my polygamy with my multiple waifus. Okay.
Joseph
He
Smith
would approve of
is
that.
a Luciferian.
They're both tiger anime
Mike,
girls,
Mike, check
and
this
that's
out.
allowed.
Mike,
Yo,
check
did
this
you know
out.
that you're a Luciferian?
No, I'm just
a Mormon furry.
He wears a
There's
Jesus
difference.
If you're a
James, come on
Mormon, then
now.
you're a
I am-
Luciferian.
No, dude, you don't know what
Hey,
you're
do you
talking
wear the
about.
Jesus
And
jammies?
honestly,
Do
you're
Do
being
you wear the
really
Jesus
offensive right now.
jammies?
And this is fucked. This is fucked that you would be so offensive right now.
It's true.
Do you know
Because
that we're on
Mormons
live
are
stream? Do you
Luciferians,
know,
and they
do you
go
know that
through a
other
cult
people are
ritual.
going to listen to your hate and your bigotry? Do you know that?
Can you
Says
explain
they-
to me the
oh,
ritual
bigotry?
where you stick your hand behind a veil to shake the Mormon's hand, bro?
Are you sure it's a hand? Are you...
I mean, I never did the ritual. I'm asking him. Is
Okay,
it a
look,
hand behind the veil, or is it something
look,
else?
I don't want to talk about this anymore, Tom. I think that we're reaching like the 3-hour mark of this live stream.
Yo, let me ask you one more question. Do you
This is
believe
really-
you're gonna
this
be
is
a
not-
god of your own
This is too
planet?
much bigotry and hate,
Bear
and I
your
don't know how much
testimony.
I can take of this.
Do you
Bear your
believe you're gonna be a
testimony. Come on,
god
come on,
of
bear
your
your
own
testimony.
planet?
What's that?
Do you believe you're gonna be a god of your own planet?
No, I believe that God will rule the
Then you're not a
planet that
Mormon.
I inherit.
If
There you
you're not a Mormon if you don't think you're gonna be a god of your own planet.
No, I'll be like a demigod. God
No,
will
you're
rule
not.
it,
You're
but I'll be a
flesh,
demigod
dumbass.
in His image, and I will rule that planet. I
No,
think
you're
I'm
not.
gonna get Mars or.
So you
Jupiter,
think
one of
you're
the two.
gonna be having your own planet?
Well, yeah. I mean, of course, that's what the teachings tell me. But
And you think you're gonna
I
be a
don't know
Tony the
which
Tiger in
planet.
that planet?
well, I mean, you can be whatever you want. Like everybody
Is
knows
that is that why you're a Mormon? Because it's a religion that allows you to become a fur man?
Well, I mean,
For
it
real?
helps. It helps definitely. I mean,
Well,
that
I
is-
mean, yo, the Mormonism is based on the Egyptian religions where they had fur-headed demigods. So I mean, this probably lines
Well,
up with what you want.
maybe I am actually a fur-headed demigod, and you don't even realize it.
Well,
Have you
look,
ever thought about that?
look, it's possible, but then you would be part of the opposition team, which is going to be conquered and destroyed by Jesus Christ and the Guerrilla Scouts. Pussy.
Based.
Okay, I would like to say that actually I think that a lot of people, like, we're live streaming right now, and a lot of people are actually listening to your hate and your bigotry right now.
It's not hate.
And I just want you to know that, like,
What, all 5 of them?
history will not look upon you
Joseph Smith wrote
Okay.
his own
You're
Bible
on the
after
wrong side of
becoming a
history right now. I hope
Freemason
you know
in
that.
order to
I
conquer
hope you know
the Native
how much
Americans
you are on the wrong
with
side
a
of history.
crazy ass doctrine
You
that they can become
fucking-
their own god, which
you
is actual
cretin,
blasphemy.
You deplorable.
You know what I mean?
Lapse in Mormon war.
Yeah.
Yo, how many times are y'all gonna get accused of diddling kids?
Look, man, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're being
I know
offensive
you don't,
and
because you
aggressive.
know what? The Guerrilla
don't-
Scouts is coming for you fools. All right,
I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
you can say
Just
that,
like
but you
my
know what?
ancestor.
The Mormon death squads are coming for you. So, you know, it is,
Yo.
it is what it is.
What, the Danites? Oh, the gay-ass
Yo,
Danites?
Pinoy,
the Mormon-
Pinoy, we're throwing the Mormons on the sides of the Chinese, bro. That's it. They're gonna be Chinese Mormons.
Ironically, the Mormon church is really big in China.
You don't even know.
How are we gonna make them into Chinese Mormons?
All right, we'll just throw some Mormons in there.
Dude, I'm
Mad
already
easy
Chinese.
to do. They all wear the same
I'm
uniform.
already a Chinese Mormon. Do you guys not realize that?
They all wear the same uniform, bro. It's easy.
Hey, wear the Jesus Jamies. Do you wear the Jesus Jamies? I'm curious.
Well, I mean, they don't call them Jesus jammies. They're actually religious underwear that you wear to bed.
The Jesus Jamies. Do you wear
no.
them? Yes or no?
I mean, that's not. They aren't what you call them, but yeah. I mean, yes, but that's not the
The
word for
Magic
them.
Mormon underwear. The
That's
Jesus
not.
Jamies.
That's not the word for them. Okay, that's not what you call them. You're
Yo, does the
illiterate
Mormons
and you're
allow you to
ignorant.
be a furry?
There is nothing within the Mormon scripture that says that I can't wear a fursuit. Okay, that's facts. Okay, that's straight facts. I'm allowed to do that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Did you ask them?
The Mormons?
Yeah.
Well,
Did you get your temple recommend?
okay. What they said was Jesus would probably frown on it, but it's not explicitly unallowed.
Jesus gonna set your ass on fire and
Wait,
laugh.
you asked the Mormon elders, bro?
Look, it's not explicitly against the rules. It's frowned upon,
Yeah,
but it's not
asked
against
you
the
asked
rules
them?
as they say.
But wait, you asked them about it?
Yo, listen, wait, I got a bit of news real quick. It just
What
dropped
you got, Tom?
a minute ago. Listen, I got news. Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball Z, has died.
Fuck.
How old was he? Or was that a guy or a girl? I can't ever tell in
He's
Japanese.
grown.
Who cares about the maker of Dragon Ball Z, bro?
Listen, bro, I'm just dropping the news so like everybody.
I'm just saying, bro. I want to know if this dude asked his fucking elders if he could wear a fursuit.
Okay,
He
so
did,
I
he
didn't
did.
I didn't ask all the elders. I went to one of the elders, right? Because it's kind of an embarrassing kind of situation,
Well,
as
you
has
asked
been
Voltron.
exemplified right here in this conversation because everyone's
Did
attacking
you-
me. And I
need to know,
asked
yo,
one of the elders.
Did you tell
I
them
asked one of the elders.
explicitly what you're doing with the fursuit?
Yes, I was honest with them.
You
Yes.
told them I want to make intercourse with the fursuit on, and they were like, "You know what?
Well,
Look."
here's the thing.
They
Actually,
were like, "Jesus probably wouldn't hate you, but
actually,
God probably
my-
don't like it."
on my fursuit, right? Yeah, actually, we don't ever do intercourse. It's a strap on. So
Wait,
it's not technically intercourse.
Wait.
So according to the elders, it actually does not count as sex. So although
Wait a
it is
minute.
frowned upon, it's not actually like a bad thing, right? It's
Hold on
not
a
it's not
second.
against God.
Give me a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's totally against
So-
God. It's
Because,
No, they
because
told me
you
it
wear
wasn't.
wait. Because you wear a fursuit and you use a strap
Would you
on.
do it?
It's not penetrative sex. It's not sex. It's with a strap on.
That's sex, bro.
It's not. It doesn't count.
No,
I was
bro,
assured
no,
by the
it
elders
totally
that it
does.
doesn't
This
count.
opportunity, Mike. I'm just saying.
It totally does, yo. You're just not having sex with like a dick,
Yo, Mike,
Suck one
Mike,
lousy
this is
dick,
a
you
business opportunity for you.
huh?
You can provide the soundtrack.
A sound, bro. How can you have sex with a strap on and a fursuit and say that that's not?
Because
You know what I'm
the
saying?
penis
A
has never
violation
entered the
of the
vagina.
Bible.
That's facts. What are you talking
But yo,
about?
it's a depraved
never
sex act.
entered the vagina. It's not sex. It's still considered, I guess, haram.
What's a
or
dildo?
halal. It's halal.
What's a dildo shaped like?
Well, I mean, mine is shaped like a tiger penis.
Wait.
Because, well,
Better and better.
tigers have a different shape of penis than a human penis.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So this is bestiality by proxy.
it's it's like imagine like a human penis, but it has like a barb on it and it's a little bit more ribbed. Like it's a.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure,
How
sure,
does
yeah.
this? How do you enjoy this if you're not using your penis?
Why is this a thing?
Well, I jerk off afterwards.
So why do you do all this other shit? Like, because see, like you're like, I'm having trouble getting women, right?
And they say
But then you
sodomy,
start
man.
talking about how you want to only fuck them with a tiger strap on,
Well, it's what
and
I'm
then you
into.
jerk off in the corner. It's like you're getting cucked by a dildo, and your alternate persona.
Well, that's
Cock
but that's
blocking yourself.
You're
Look, I mean,
cucking
that's-
yourself.
Look, but that's the thing that
that's what I'm into, right? So like can we
But
like you're a
You-
Christian, right? So like you should be able to like let
all right, so
let your
here's what
other
I'm trying
fellow
to
man,
say,
you know,
right?
go along
How
his own
does
pathway.
that
Like,
sex act
why are you
produce
judging me so
offspring?
much? You know, do you
Because
live,
you're missing the
do
first
you-
commandment.
Do you
of
not
God.
live in a glass house? Do you not
No,
live in a
'cause,
glass
like,
house?
you're retarded.
I know that you live in a glass house.
No,
Everyone
you're
lives in a glass
literally
house.
listen.
Stop throwing.
Listen. What is
stop
the
throwing
first thing
stones
that
at me.
God said to
Please
mankind?
stop throwing stones at me.
He said,
my
"Yo."
good sir.
He
This is
said,
offensive,
"Be fruitful
and you're not being a
and
good Christian.
multiply."
You should be more open-minded to what I'm
Listen,
trying
bro.
to bring to you.
How does
okay,
this
because
work?
I am a good Mormon.
Please explain this.
But I thought you were a Christian.
Yeah, you
Which
should
is
be a
it?
good
Are you
Christian.
Mormon?
Brent.
No, Mormons aren't Christians. You just specified there's a difference between Mormon and
No,
Christian.
no, we're like an upgraded version.
yeah,
we're like an
no,
upgraded
upgraded.
version of Christianity.
Upgraded version.
But yo,
Yeah, like
yo.
you have
What
2
happened
books. We have
What
3.
happened is like Sam Smith done found the motherfucking box of like Jesus' tomes in Arizona, right? And then like read them to people and with a viewing stone, right? So like literally like because they said Jesus came to America.
Bro, Joseph Smith tried to translate these tablets of Nephi out of a hat, bro. That was on some golden ass tablets that was buried by a motherfucking angel, right? And then, yo, check this shit out, right? He fucking wrote it down, and this lady, right, was like, yo, see if he could do it again without the text. And he fucking said, you know what? I got a different revelation when he tried to read it out the hat again. You know what I mean? He said it's a new revelation. And this is actually a fact. This is not like a conspiracy.
Yeah, I know.
So basically, here's what I'm saying. Joseph Smith was a Freemason who made all of this shit up and created his own version of the mystery occult religion,
That's haram,
which
and I
is
won't accept that.
actually Luciferianism, which is why they're
that
completely
is
okay
everything
with this
you just said is
motherfucker
haram.
dressing up like a tiger
So why does Brigham
and banging
Brigham
chicks with a strap on.
Hey,
Why does Brigham Young have a
Hey Tom, I'm
square
getting
and compass
fucking
on his-
bored of this live stream. Can we
Hey,
end
you-
this? It's been
Yo, this
No,
dude
you
is
can-
retarded.
It's been 3 hours.
Literally
I'm fucking bored.
retarded.
In 3 hours, and I need to go to bed. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, don't quit on me
It's
now,
been great,
goddammit.
man.
I
Thank
need to
you.
go to bed.
This is
I'm
a lot of
like,
fun
it's
listening.
4:00 in the morning.
You guys are crazy. It's only 10 to 8 here.
Yo, you're man
hell.
retarded, bro.
Yo, I'm not dumb. Okay, look, there's nothing wrong with my
I
belief
love y'all
structure.
motherfuckers. Like, listen, I will talk to like y'all niggas.
I'm gonna be honest, you're not the worst person, but like I think you're gross.
Thanks, guys.